Alrighty, folks, welcome back to the Games Done Quick channel. If you've been watching the recaps, the sort of reruns of SGDQ, then welcome. This might be a bit of a surprise, but this is Hotfix. These are shows that we put in between our mainline events, Awesome Games Done Quick, and Summer Games Done Quick. Either regular scheduling, so shows that you'll see reoccurring, or one-offs. We have got some lovely one-offs coming up this weekend, but before that, we've got Going Places. This is I usually describe it as a speedrun travel show where we get to see a whole load of games from across the speedrun landscape, I call it. So basically the long and short of that is games on handheld consoles as well as games that are region exclusive. And we've kind of kicked off this series kind of keeping a loose theme of mascot PlayStation games. So we started off with Crash and Spyro. That's what the guy's called. And we saw the regional differences when it comes to how they were released in the East in Japan. And today we've got things a little bit different. We're going to be seeing a little later on, it finally turned on, but we are going to be seeing Daxter for the PlayStation Portable. Majora is going to be taking us through all missions. But before that, we've got some PlayStation heritage. I have actually got a copy of the game here myself. I have had the honor of delving into this game, and we are having the honor of some of the top runners of possibly the best kart racer ever conceived. Monster Racer. We have got 3 Monstrous racers with us, and hopefully we are in for an absolute treat. Before we do get into it, we were going to be having a 4th racer. That was the Rixer, but health was a little not on his side, so we're wishing him the best in recovery. And yeah, I'm joined by Ash, I'm joined by Thrasher, and I'm joined by Derek Lander, who are going to be showing off this game. Gamers, how are you doing?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm looking forward to seeing some elite, high tier esports Monster Racer action. I'm sure you'd say that it's on that caliber.
Oh, absolutely. This game is one of a kind. There's just nothing like it. And I mean that in the best way possible. So, yeah, I'm very, very excited to get into it.
Awesome. Any other introductions from the runners, or are you going to let the gaming do the talking?
Yeah,
Hi, I'm very shy.
We can... yeah, I'm Ash. That's Thrasher. Yeah, I think we can honestly just pretty much go over the the run in the game and our history with it while we're playing. I think we can do that. So.
Awesome. That sounds good.
If you will.
Well, we are ready when you are. As a heads up for everybody who's watching as well, we're going to be trying our best to try and track the in-game time for this game. That's the primary timing method. It's a PlayStation game, so loads vary between if you ran it on PlayStation 1 or if you ran it on any of the different versions of PlayStation 2. So I am going to try my best to try and keep on top of this so that we can bring a accurate display of skill from across these across the different platforms that we've got going on today. But are the runners ready?
Ready.
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome. I assume you're on the right screen, so I'm going to give a 3, 2, 1, and we'll go.
All right. Sounds good.
Alrighty. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Good luck.
All right.
Good luck.
Good luck, good luck.
All right. So before we get into the history and kind of what makes this game so crazy and how it kind of got up to now a hotfix at this point, let's go over the basic gameplay mechanics. This is a PAL PS1 kart racer made by Microids. And Microids back in the day, they were kind of unknown at the time. So this is kind of one of their first games. And as such, it's a bit janky. Basically, we're going to go through 10 tracks, and then we're going to have to go through 10 more tracks, but in the reverse direction, because that's how you double the game length. And starting out here, we are all playing as Diggo, and that's because Diggo is the best character in the game. The game tries to like tell you on the stats screen that Diggo is like kind
Big
of
earn.
average. Big earn.
Oh, I got ratioed immediately.
Yeah. But so we're going to talk about that in a second. But the game tries to tell you that Diggo is very like okay like character. But on the hidden stats page, because like we had to do some in-depth research into a game as high quality as this, we found out that the game just lies. It says his acceleration's like a 4. It's actually like nearly a 7. So he's the best character. So that's why we all play him. And the two main things about this run is going to be the urns and the boxes. So in this game, you know games like Mario Kart, how it's like you can't get a star in first place? That game, you know, does that so other people can catch up. Here, that doesn't happen. Like right there, I just got a big urn, which is the best item in the game.
Big earn.
So with the big urn, I can boost really past these people really quick. And it's just, honestly, it's kind of just a game about getting the urns and cycling item boxes as much as possible.
Big urn.
So, big urn, you got
Big
two?
earn.
Are you kidding me?
I mean, I ratioed myself out of the first one with a small urn immediately. But
True. But yeah, that's basically the game. It's just we're going to be cycling item boxes. Anytime we get an item like a bear trap or a tornado, we're going to try to place it in a way that doesn't hurt us. And then we're just going to keep cycling item boxes and hopefully, are you kidding me? Hopefully get a urn. I just got reverse controlled twice. This is ridiculous. That's another thing I should mention. This game has bad power-ups. So in a game, going back to Mario Kart, it's like all beneficial except for like maybe the coin. But even then, the coin helps. Big earn!
Big earn.
So basically, in this game, there's two power-ups that are negative towards you. It's the reverse controls and the flashbang. The reverse controls, it swaps your left and right inputs for a few seconds. The flashbang actually flashbangs you. Like, it's brutal. So, we'll probably be seeing some of those. So,
Speaking
heads
of,
up on that.
ow. Do not play this in the dark room, by the way.
True. And I just finished my first race, 2:31.92. We're going to wait here for a few seconds. Make sure that we get this draw down because we're actually running with in-game time. Even though this game, like we're all trying to make it to where our emulators and like me on console are like synced up load-wise.
250,
Trying to make
358.
sure
Cool.
that we can have a fair race. So we're actually going to be competing for the in-game time, and then we'll have it totaled up by the end of this.
Alrighty, you are good to go, Thrasher. That was a 231 for you, was that, Derek?
Yeah.
Cool. I didn't get the milliseconds, but hopefully...
8-6.
8-6. Cool. That is all the first ones going in. I'm in for a busy night, it looks like.
Oh,
But
absolutely. Absolutely.
who knows? You know, the RNG could completely tip the scales of this game. We could see gaps, you know,
Yeah.
coming up between the runners, but...
well, speaking of RNG, I've been small 5 seconds into the second race. So
Nice. So
No.
speaking of, yeah, I know I mentioned negative effects when you run through an item box, but there is a small ability, which is, it's kind of like the lightning from Mario Kart. I know I've mentioned that game like 5 times now. Except the only difference is there's no cap on how many times your opponents can get it. It's a low chance, but they can get it. Small, you go really slow. Big earn. And it's just really bad. Also, we're screaming Big Earn because Big Earn is like ridiculously fast. Like right there, I got a small urn, so it refills my boost meter, which is on the bottom right. Anytime you get a Big Earn, it also fills it up all the way, but the like earn speed is nearly double. So it's just ridiculous.
It is something that is definitely worth shouting about.
bigger and again.
Bigger.
Oh my gosh.
Hey.
Your light's kind of
bigger,
crazy.
bigger,
Oh my gosh.
bigger.
All around.
Double
Thrasher's
bigger.
got to bring the treble.
Oh,
Can I have a small
We're maybe
smack-
gonna see the rare blow up. Yep, there we go.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Can I get a small
Respond.
smack roll of your good luck? Come on.
Yeah, Derek. do you want to explain that one, Derek?
The blow up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so right now my Diggo character is like kind of reddish. Because this game is really funny, if you get too many big urns, not small ones, the small ones can't do it, but if you get like a big urn into another big urn and you just hold the boost button, over time, your character gets redder and redder, and if he gets too red, if he gets too, I guess, hot, he just like spins out and blows up. So
it's so weird how much it takes because you literally need like multiple
Yeah,
maybe
you need
you hold
multiple
a big urn like
urns.
all the way the whole time and just don't let go. Like I don't know why you'd be doing that through turns and everything, but like maybe that would be enough to make you red. But yeah, you need like multiple in a row to get it. So it's like
oh,
pretty rare.
flashing! Dang!
Ooh.
I actually have not been flashbanged yet.
Yeah, another bad one's the flashbang. The flashbang, I swear, is monitor dependent because on my old TV, it was not that bad. On my new monitor, goodness, on my new monitor, it is pretty obvious. I'm not having fun when I get flashbang.
Speaking of the flashbang, recently there's been some tech with that here. You gotta explain that.
Oh my gosh! So this is the
Flashbang
I've been
again.
flashed
Yeah,
three
he's
times in a
flashbang
row.
again.
Oh, and speaking of there.
Oh my gosh, it's all happening.
But so yeah, there's some controversial tech in this game, even though you wouldn't expect it. People have found out that when you get flashbanged, if you pause the game and just wait, it will eventually run out. And since we tie with in-game time, that's been the meta,
That is hilarious.
Oh, bigger.
which is really
Bigger.
So it's really funny, just because. I mean, they just didn't think anyone would pause during the flashbang like animation, I guess.
Incredible.
Oh, for goodness
Yeah.
sakes.
All right, so let's talk about the elephant in the room.
I think I skipped the in-game time on it.
That's alright.
Oh, no.
I just about saw it. Saw it.
Jeez, Ash, come on.
Sorry.
Not even playing by the rules.
Hey, it's hard to
I got
fight the muscle memory.
337. Yikes. 337 on port is not good, I will admit.
This is a really good start for me. Like I've gotten like 5 big urns, so I'm sure the bad luck's
Really?
about to start. hitting
Really?
soon.
Okay.
I have been
Okay, be happy.
ratioed 2 races in a row big time.
you really
So
have been.
Right.
hey, bigger, right at the very end.
Right at the finish line! It's so much usage!
Yeah, for sure. 345.18.
I really want to talk
Gotcha.
about the elephant in the room because there's a potential that some people are watching this and thinking, okay, I get it, it's a meme game. Like, how is it on a Hotfix? Like, how is it like here? And that's because this game's history is insane with how many runners we have. Because you look at it and you go like, oh, a big urn! Sorry. You look at it and,
That's
and
what
you
I'm
think,
saying.
no ratio!
Oh no.
You look at the game and you think like, oh wow, this is like, you know, kind of memey, kind of whatever. But the history is insane because what happened was Ricky did a monster racer race. Well, not a race. He did a run on stream. Sorry, when he had like a few followers. He didn't have that many, but like he grew up with this game somehow. So he was like, oh, let me play it on stream because this game's like a goofball. And he plays it on stream. And because of that, there's only 2 active runners. There's only 2 people. And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, Ash, you saw that and then was like, oh, I got to do that.
Yeah. I like saw Ricky running it and was just like, wow, this looks like just with it being like so luck-based, this looks like a really funny like game to try to get people into and like race it and stuff. Like, I don't know.
Excuse you, you're doing the pause tech?
Of course. I'm playing to win here. I'm playing to
You're so
win.
cringe.
I'm playing to win.
So,
Bigger.
You're so
Bigger.
The game's on
actually
my side.
cringe. This is so
Clearly.
cringe. I look over for 2 seconds and I see you pause on the flashbang. That's so cringe. I want that technique banned. But yeah, no, Ash saw Ricky play it, so then Ash played it and tried to convince a bunch of like spiral runners to give it a try, myself included. So from there, we went up to like, what, 8 runners, I'd say? Mm-hmm. And then we just tried to keep branching, and eventually we got to like 12. And then out of nowhere, like, Ricky does a Monster Racer like stream again, but this time like he has like way bigger numbers, you know, because he's been like killing it on the YouTube side. So a ton of people just flood in, and then I make a Monster Racer video, which is going over the history. And then he does it for the weekly race recently for his PlayStation Nation like Discord server. And with all that combined, it's up to like 60 runners, I think. I think it's like 60 or 58.
Yeah, I think it's almost 65 now, actually. I think it's
65. Which is crazy because when you look at this game, like I said, you kind of go like, oh, this is like a meme-ish game. This probably has like a few like 10 runners or so, but no, it's huge. And we also have a spreadsheet that keeps track of the community's best and worst segments.
I think if you go to PS1 games on on SRC, like on speedrun.com, I think this game has either the second or third most active players.
Ooh, I've got to test that theory.
Oh
Like
my
after
gosh.
Spyro and possibly after Crash Team Racing. I don't even know if it's behind Crash Team Racing anymore.
Right.
I think,
Okay.
it's just, I think it might be just behind Spyro 1.
All games, PlayStation.
Because the Ricky race that wasn't too long ago, so surely all those count as like active runners.
Yeah.
We're at week 12 now. Bigger. I think we're at week 12 now, and Monstrous was week 5. It was the first meme week.
Oh, you're right. So it's probably been too long.
You're right. It is in the top 3 for most active at the moment. That is ahead of Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. That is ahead of Crash Team Racing, as well as Spyro 2, Resident Evil 2.
Oh my gosh.
And a whole lot of other games.
We've hit the bigger time, you too.
I finished with a 3.3582.
Gotcha.
I stayed on it for like 5 seconds, or like maybe I didn't stay on it long enough because
you didn't stay on it long enough. Not only is Ash pause buffering the flashbangs, basically just cheating. Now I have to deal with them skipping the results screen.
3:42:36.
Gotcha.
Yo, Brad.
Or worst case, you can just look at the like broadcast or whatever.
Yeah,
there's that too.
That'd be really fun. Oh man, but yeah,
not
this game is just
big earn on that last
not
one.
a single big earn. Oh,
nope.
That's weak.
Tragic.
Yeah, I don't know. This game's just it just has a grip on some of us because I know Ash, for example, has way too many runs in this game. Like, Ash, how many runs do you have in this game?
34 completed runs and 132 attempts, which a fair amount of those were like the 3 steps at the beginning. But too many hours. Too many hours in Monster Racer.
Yeah.
Back on the first Renaissance when Ash got this off the ground, I dove into like the ILs and the other categories in this, and this at one point was my most submitted to game on SRC at about 117 submissions.
Let's go.
That's insane. What a flashbang! My lord. I've been hit by so many flash games. You think I was playing a different genre of game? Goodness. Man, but yeah, there's just something about this game that attracts a lot of people to it when it comes to like meme week or like if they want to do a dumb fun race. I think it's really just the pick up and play nature. I mean, it's so easy to pick up and play, understand you want the urns, you want to cycle item boxes, and that's basically it, man. I mean, it's super simple, but it's kind of funny. I don't think we've mentioned it, but if anyone does want to give the game a shot, it is PAL only.
But yeah, that is how it has made it onto this show. We haven't shown off many PAL only games, but this is one of them, and it is truly a game of all time.
It is a game of all time, yeah.
And we do, like, as you've noticed, we're recording the in-game times, or at least the other people are getting their in-game times recorded to remember.
I've gone back and fact-checked, so you're good, Ash.
So if you run on emulator or whatever, it's all the same.
It's all fair.
You will not be at any disadvantage to anyone playing on console or anything. So don't worry about that if you don't have like a PAL PS1 or anything.
I also I know I mentioned the spreadsheet, but the spreadsheet is like insane when it comes to like friendly, not just like competition, but also like community best and worst. Because we have this weird trend where like if we are having like a really bad like race, like let's say I get smalled 80 times, I could sit here and cry, but instead we kind of go like, oh, community worst like it's kind of something to achieve, you know?
Right, I have got that one for you there, Ash.
So it's very, very funny. But
you've heard of community golds, but I think this might be the only game that has community browns.
Community worst. Which is, and that's a 304.70 for me. Not bad, not bad. Or a 69 on the end screen. Yeah, I should mention that.
248.66. 248.66.
248. Oh, okay.
Not a single bigger in either.
But yeah, I should have mentioned this, but yeah, the in-game timer, it's so funny because when you cross the finish line, your timer on the top left is like off what the actual results screen tells you. Because the results screen takes off
0.06 off.
Yeah, it takes off 0.6.
3 times safe. Let's go.
Yeah, it's just so funny. It's ridiculous. So now we're on Castle. We haven't gone over much of the track. Get out of my way! Oh my lord! Okay. So that's something we should mention. I know this game's like all RNG. Bigger. But, another RNG thing is the AI in this game is kind of a joke. Like, even though we run on easy, if you run on a harder difficulty, like, they don't really do much. But, like, some of the RNG is trying to get around them at the start. Because, as you saw on my screen, they kind of, like, bunched up and just, like, kept bumping off of me.
Bigger. Finally.
Off the map.
Now, one thing that was quite apparent to me when I've only played this one time, and that was part of the big race, is even with the character, so I opted for Wolf, Digo is the optimal character, these characters just drift. Like, they're almost constantly kind of slightly going off to the left.
They're constantly going to the left. I'm so happy you mentioned that because you're 100% right. If you start a race, that's the McRoyd's classic, okay? Because, like, think about it. If you play any other kart racer and there's a straight line, what do? You hold the, like, gas button. That's so boring. That's so unbelievably boring. Okay, McRoyd's came up here and they changed the game by making sure that we, like, keep wiggling the D-pad back and forth to make sure we go straight.
Right, you've heard it here, everybody. Derek Lander is a Desert Bus fan. We will be seeing you back on the Hotfix for a 24-hour stream doing the Desert Bus.
Hey, I'll do it.
The sad thing is he will.
Stop prize cheating, you cheater. This is ridiculous.
They're just using their resources. Come on, Derek.
We're banning that technique. We're having a mod discussion after this.
Just narrowly dodged a bear trap there.
Well, not only do you drift a bit to the left, but Digo doesn't have the best turning, but it's not as bad as the game says. But everyone's turn. Oh my gosh, I got reverse control. It just went off the map. But everyone's turning. Like, it doesn't matter if you pick the best turning character. They all, like, instantly turn. Like, you know in some games how, like, you hold a direction and it's like a slow turn and then it gets sharp? These guys are always pinpoint sharp. So it's really hard to get a feel for the controls when you're starting out.
It's worse if you play New Game Plus and use Master, because everything on that character is completely instantaneous.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a lot of categories. I think Adventure Mode is the most popular one, the one we're doing now. I got reverse controlled and flashbang. I just got, like, double hit. Oof. Just insane. But yeah, no, Adventure Mode's the most common speedrun. And then there's some other categories that we don't really do, but they're out there. I think the craziest one is when someone found lap skip.
Yeah.
I haven't even mentioned that.
Yeah, someone found lap skip.
301.92.
Ricky found lap skip.
I got 308.36. Yeah.
Cool. Gotcha.
Yep. Even Thrasher's gotta be close. But
301.92 was what it was.
Bigger.
301.92. Bigger. But yeah, no. So in this game, we found lap skip, and lap skip's kind of unique in this game. Going back to Mario Kart, because that's just my favorite, I guess, analogy, because everyone's played at least a Mario Kart game. You know how some of the tracks, like, you kind of, like, go out of bounds, or, like, you go behind the finish line and, like, go far enough away that you know, can go through the finish line and count a lap. Monster Racer takes that to the extreme, but, like, in a far more insane direction. Bigger. Where basically, if you go to the side of a finish line on like a few of the tracks, and you just bump into the wall, the game can sometimes glitch out and just think that you did a whole lap.
And you can get like, if you do it right, you can get like multiple at once, actually.
Yeah, like I think for the task, like it gets some of the tracks done in like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Hold up, can we just take a step back? You're saying that there is a task of this game.
Yes.
I was also about to ask that. What?
Waffle Wizard has a super small like preview task. He didn't do all the tracks. Like it's not like an optimal task if I'm not mistaken. But when we found Lap Skip, we were kind of like someone should task this and see how insane it can get. And then Waffle tasked it and then did like half the tracks in like 5 seconds.
Let's go. That's cool.
But for full game speedruns, the most popular category is the legacy one where we don't allow Lap Skip. Because Lap Skip's also really jank. Like even though in the task setting you just bump up against the wall and get lucky, in I don't know what's the right word, like RTA wise, we kind of just try the same thing, and sometimes it works, but most of the time it doesn't. Big Earn! Wait, do we all have Big Earn?
No, I was.
Now we do.
Oh, we do now.
I was okay. I was echoing Ash saying it, so no, I do not have Big Earns.
Yeah, this map here is one of my favorites. It's Museum. It's just got really fair track.
Derek, you're
really
museum.
good.
If you still, I don't know if you still have museum community gold, but it might be in danger here.
No, it's not. It's not. You're not kidding. I got smalled. I got ran over.
Oh my
I got
gosh.
smalled and then I got ran over by the Wicked Witch.
I'm like 100% on PB pace. Like I've had obnoxiously good RNG so far.
Your earn game has been strong.
Choco Island 2 and Super Mario Kart. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's awesome. But yeah, no, museum's
as
one
soon
of
as
my
I mentioned
favorite
PB, I ran into a trap, and then as I was getting out of the trap, I got
Oh my gosh.
I got a mic. This is the worst museum. Oh!
Wow. You are.
Well, I can tell that the bad luck I got on my first 3 races are getting transferred over to Derek. So you're welcome there, buddy.
Dude, I've been
Ash, have a good time.
smalled. I think the worst one was when I got ran over by the witch. I don't think I've ever seen that where I got smalled and she came up from behind and just ran over me. Actually insane. Bigger and okay. Thank goodness, man. But yeah, no, I'd say we're halfway through the tracks. And if you look at the estimate we have, it's like 125. So you might go where you can't be through half of the tracks. But we have to do the tracks again, just in reverse, once we get through the halfway point. Because what happens is you race a boss, and if you beat the boss, the game's like, oh, you can proceed to like the next wave of tracks. And I got 32108.
Ouch.
And the next wave of tracks, I guess they didn't have time to like make new ones, or they didn't have space. It's just these tracks in reverse. So
Genius.
Hey, genius. Did you just get ran over?
I did, yeah. I got
350.88
right at the start of mine,
Gotcha.
and then got ran over. But then at the end of all of that, I got a big earn, so it was kind of worth it.
Cool. I'm seeing the earns in chat. That is what we like to see. We're wishing the biggest of earns upon our runners right now.
Hey, let's go.
Maybe
Yeah,
a
a
few
lot of
more
people in
towards
chat-
mine and Derek's side, please.
Yeah, can we get a channel point redeem of like give Derek luck, give Ash no more luck?
Oh, we should have
But,
set a poll up at the start of the run. We could have seen where the chat would vote, who would take the win. But
Yeah, so true. That's one of the funniest things is there's a lot of people in chat right now. Like I recognize a lot of names, and that's the thing about Monster Racers. Even though like it's a meme game that kind of comes in bursts, people are always willing to watch
Big
it.
Earn.
Like I've seen bigger and like
And
I've seen
Richard.
streamers. Like I've seen streamers who are like, oh, like even though we're not doing a race, I kind of just want to do one Monster Racer run, and like they'll have like 15 people who just show up just to watch it. It's like ridiculous. Just one of those games. Look, I'm just saying, if you want to grow a Twitch channel, I mean, this is the game.
Just become dedicated Monster Racer man. Yeah.
the instant money generator for sure.
Yeah, they call it the money machine.
Oh no way that hit me! Oh my gosh.
I haven't
The
gone.
hitbox on that trap
so
was
long.
like just 3 feet to the left. Before it actually
Somebody in chat just said, "You guys earned it."
I get it.
I'm going to ban that person. Who was it? Who was Tootie? No, I'm not going to ban.
Big Earn. Oh my goodness. The Big Earn luck worked. Thanks, chat.
What? This is sent some my way. Like I'm over here dry as can be. I'm like a camel in the desert, dude. Send me some.
I had all the good luck. Now I got to the. Oh no, I'm not to the longest map yet. But I bet when I get to Teeth Pass, it's just gonna dry up. I'm just gonna drive in a straight line for 7 minutes.
I got a 159.
Sub-minute. Nice.
It was
right. Got that time down.
Oh, go.
Sub-minute for Thrasher.
Oh my gosh.
155.88.
155. Jeez. Nice.
That's my favorite
now
track.
We're going on to Iceberg. Unironically, I know it seems kind of like a whole like meme to say this, but Iceberg is probably everyone's everyone's least favorite track. Like bar none. Like people do not like this track because it's very confusing. Like there's some spots that you need to turn to that you just don't really think about it because it doesn't like flow very naturally.
Aesthetically, I love how this level looks, but yeah, in terms of first time getting on the slopes, it is it's rough.
Oh yeah,
this is definitely the worst for the beginners because there's just like multiple spots where you'll just drive off the map because it doesn't look like that's where you should be going.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And then after this, we have Teeth Pass, which is if you do Teeth Pass like lucky and you do it pretty well, it could be as low as 6 minutes. And if it goes bad, it could be as long as 7.5. Because Teeth Pass is an insanely long track. Oh, I'm hitting that mine. Yep.
I'm pretty sure I saw Flying Dutchie 91 in chat. Hi Dutchie, what's up?
Yo, what's up? Yeah, I see a lot of people in chat. Sick. It's the Monster Racer thing, dude. I told you these are the people that show up if you stream Monster Racer. You got to get on it.
What do you call Monster Racer runners? Do you just call them monsters? Do you call them the Monster Massive?
Call them monster. I mean, I might call them insane. But
I wonder how Cartoon Kid's doing. Unrelated note. Slightly related. Big Earn.
I just like the idea. Do you call them monsters? And then like we race Monsters Inc. one day, and it's like, well, what do we call the people who play Monsters Inc. now?
Hey, you raise a good point.
I also like the implication of like, you run Monster Racer? How could you?
You've given into the views, I see. I've been flashbanged so many times. I'm okay. Time to complain. I have a shield, and I was able to get smalled. For some reason, the shield in this game does not protect you against the small ability.
Incredible.
Which is so annoying. Oh man, it's so annoying.
35-10.
Oh man, I'm having a bad time. I'm not gonna lie. This Monster Racer action is not going great.
Dang it, Ash, get back here.
You know what the problem is? Ash is playing on the cheater emulator. That's gotta be what it is.
Yeah.
Where
are you talking about Duck? Because so am I.
No, I'm talking about EPSXE.
Uh-oh.
And cheater over here.
SMH. And 234.32.
All right, I got 244 flat.
Cool.
Oh my god!
Time for a drink.
What an actual mess that track was. Surely Teeth Pass would go much better. Surely.
Stay hydrated, chat.
Yeah, folks.
Rude. I'm a little thirsty.
If you haven't had the chance to in a while, make sure you're getting up, having a little stretch if you have the capacity to do so. Staying hydrated, all the important stuff. I know that this it's truly some mouth-watering. I don't think I've ever described a game on this show as mouth-watering.
Mouth-watering.
And
that's
of all games to say that about, it's Monster Racer.
I mean, the way that they've modeled Wolf, like
game right now.
Yeah.
Oh, the spiral.
The spiral that seems
The spiral's
like
the best part.
Yeah. So this is why Teeth Pass is one of the longest tracks. Is because to save, I don't know if it's to save exactly on resources or to extend the game length. They have 2 spirals that just go for a while. Like, I'm not even kidding. It's like insane. So you go around once, you go around twice, you go around 3 times.
I've
Then you
heard
slowly make it back up.
I've heard a theory about the big spiral that, like, if you approach it at the right angle and start turning at the right time, you can just, you know, gun it all the way up. We're seeing Thrasher do pretty well. Was that all the way up, or did you have to do a little
No,
adjustment?
okay, so my strat on that is always feather the gas, and that comes from just
Yeah.
my other racing game experience. Bigger.
Do bigger on Teeth Pass. So I know we
I
didn't
have to
mention
attack
this,
there to
but
get that one spot where you can drive through 2 boxes at once and
boxes.
just hold the item button down. And
Yeah.
you get 2 items at once.
yeah, Big Earn on some tracks help more than others. On Teeth Pass, since it's just so long, and like once you get out of the tunnel, it's a lot of like straightaways. Big Earn is like insane in this game, or on this track. I mean, like this track, you want Big Earn more than like most of the other ones. And then I think the worst one to have Big Earn on is probably Volcano. Volcano's really short and it has a lot of tight turns. And I still don't have like any earn luck. This is sad. It's rough.
Well, when it comes to the halfway mark of the run, would folks be interested to know their IGTs, or do they just want to hold out and hear
hold
till
out.
the end of the run?
Seems like me and Thrasher are gonna have to go with the no.
Holding out, I respect
Yeah.
it. That's kind of what I was hoping you'd say. I thought I'd give you the option.
Yeah, we're gonna hold out, and then Ash's back half is going to be like miserable. Big Earn.
Bigger.
Oh yeah, we should talk about getting ratio because we mentioned that a few times. If you get a big earn, it fills your meter up all the way, but you get like the double earn speed, than like a small earn or what the boost you start with. If you get a big earn and for some reason don't have an item in your item slot, and then go over another item box and get a small earn, it replaces your big earn speed. Like it just goes away. So once you get a big earn, the meta is kind of to just hold an item until the big earn runs out,
Yep.
because you don't want to override it with the slower speed boost.
Also, for the eagle-eyed amongst you, you will have noticed that the lap counter isn't exactly a traditional way of counting laps.
Bigger.
Bigger.
Yeah, it's
usually it would mark, you know, when you're on your first lap, it would say lap 1 of 5. Whereas when you start your lap, you're actually on lap 0, don't you know? So
The lap counter is how many laps you've completed rather than what lap you're on.
yeah. But with that being said, I still do agree with dude speed. Yeah, this track is ridiculous. This one takes way too long. And even though I enjoy it to some extent, like it's a guilty pleasure of mine, it's like,
Same.
man, it's like this track just goes on and on and on.
it's a gauntlet.
It's definitely polarizing. When you're having bad luck, it's just a bad time for everyone involved. But when it's going all right, then it's like, this is pretty chill, actually.
Yeah.
Woo! Almost
Another
got.
thing to mention is the frame rate. You guys can probably notice based on like the gameplay on screen, or you might think your internet might be just a touch choppy. That's not the case. This game is supposed to run at like, what's the European standard? Like 25 FPS
25.
for PAL PS1. And on DuckStation, it tells you exactly how many frames you get.
17.
And when I ran on there, it's always been like 16 or 17.
It is currently at 17 for me. I am running on DuckStation.
Yeah, so it doesn't run at full speed like it should.
Ouch!
Which I don't know why. I assume it's an optimization issue. Because like I said, this was their like first game. But if it did run at full speed, then it would actually be ridiculous, some of the speeds you could get.
Lost Racer was just a bit too ambitious for PS1, apparently.
It should have been a PS2 launch title.
Real.
This wasn't even at the beginning of the PS1's life
No, this was
cycle
pretty
either.
Yeah, this was
late into the
2001.
Yeah, this was pretty
Oh my
late into the
gosh.
PS1 life cycle.
Like,
It also
Yeah,
uses like code saves, like like Crash 1 does. Oh, is it gonna be sub 6? Ooh, oh, not quite.
Sub 6? Are you kidding me? I'd be lucky to get sub 7.
6 flat point.
Nice. Got it.
6 flat. Are you serious? That is insane. Yeah, so Ash was able to get sub 6. I am not going to hit that.
The
by any stretch
RTA
of the
sync.
imagination.
The RTA sync on Derek and Prasha there was pretty close for a little bit. We might see that return if luck goes a different way.
Yeah. Like I said, people just need to start wishing Ash some bad luck. My bad. I don't know why I called you ad.
oh, big earn right at the finish
Big earn
line.
right at the end. Let's go.
6'10", 62.
Gotcha.
6'10", 60. Oh man, I'm having a terrible
I was
run.
gonna say those are some pretty good deep pass results. Like 6 flat.
I will not be joining you guys on that. This is going to be like a 622. The 622.02.
God, pointing out that this game came out in 2001 makes me think, okay, 2001, we also got Gran Turismo 3, Metal Gear Solid 2, and Ace Combat 4.
No, my gosh.
Like, think about how nice those games look, and then there's this.
Yeah. But you know what? I play this game more than those games.
Oh.
So they're doing something right.
All right, that is the first case of how mean the level boundaries are with this particular level. So especially if you're going to see any of these runners have their like controls get reversed, yeah, they're going to be going out of the stage quite a bit.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of mean because I've definitely seen it where like you're barely beyond the track, like with all transparency.
Are you
like,
kidding?
The game just like cuts them off early. Yeah, so like that should like yeah, I almost bet you that's exactly what happened. Was just that.
Oh, that was tight.
Also, there is a shortcut on this track that actually loses time, but the boss always takes it. Yeah, there's a hidden shortcut on this track that loses you time, and the boss is programmed to always take it because he thinks it's faster.
Genius.
I think I passed the boss when they were on it or something because I just have not seen them this entire time.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Guy goes on the shortcut, and it's a pretty hidden shortcut. Like I'm not gonna lie, like even watching the gameplay, you might be thinking like, where is it? Like it's pretty hidden, but it
I did
loses
not
time.
get a single boost the entire volcano, so it was pretty rough.
No, I'm with you. I haven't gotten a single one. And I'm-
It's happening.
Oh, never mind.
Jared,
The last
it's
possible
happening.
spot to go off, pretty much. Just reverse controlled right at the end. Yeah, that was a pretty
I can't get
miserable
past
volcano.
this guy. This guy's in my way.
1602, got you.
Get out of my way, Pot.
Alrighty, no way. The return of Garden.
He's in my way. I can't get past.
Gigaton actually
Probably
giving you trouble.
Around even with PB now. It's hard to say exactly since I've been stopping a lot.
208.94.
Wait for timer and stuff.
Gotcha,
208.94, yep.
Probably around even.
Oh my gosh. It's got reverse controls right at a sharp turn.
I also love just how big on. I love how the draw distance of this game is phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
I really love seeing the stage in
I
front of
got
me.
220.46.
But you
It's not
still be
going good for me.
Gigaton.
Yeah, it's not going good for me. If I had my splits open, it would probably say +4. It's been a very but that's fine. We make it up in the back half. So now we're gonna play the tracks, but in reverse. Which for some of them, like Egypte, it actually makes it better. Oh yeah,
And yes,
another
that's how
thing I
we
should
pronounce it.
mention. That's how the game calls Egypt. It calls it Egypte.
Gotta avoid that Egypt copyright.
Yep.
The Egypt copyright, yeah, very very exclusive.
Notorious.
The fame. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out, like, because, you know, this is all kind of Halloween themed, I guess, because of, like, mummies.
Where there's
Like,
mummies, there's
is there a
guy,
mummy
this-
racer, like, character in this game?
There is,
Yeah, there's that. There's Clank.
The
Clank
cat.
is super based. We have
Clack.
a witch.
Clank.
Clack.
Game.
Oh, I'm thinking Ratchet and Clank. Whoops. Dude, I gotta get my heads in the McRoyds game. I don't know what I'm thinking. But yeah, this was actually a stealth sequel. I didn't mention it in my video because I found out about this much later. This is a stealth sequel to a game called Halloween Racer for the Game Boy. It's a Game Boy game that has the same like character ideas and some of the same track ideas, but just like on a Game Boy, so it's really rough.
On the original Game Boy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible lore.
And they made Monster Racer. And in my whole video, because I made a video talking about this game's history and how, like, let's be honest, if this game could be a speedrun, any game can probably be a speedrun. And the whole video, I did so much research, and I found out about it being a stealth sequel like the day before I published the video, because it was on some like random forum thread that was like at the bottom of the Google results. It was just like, they made Halloween Racer, so this is actually a stealth sequel. And I was like, no, they didn't. And then I YouTubed some footage, and sure enough, they had one video on YouTube with like 2 views.
There it was.
And it was.
That's incredible. Shout outs to the love that we're getting for Wolf in the chat. We've got a Wolfgang member.
Wolfgang. Oh, that's gotta be a Kaidia. I can't say their name, but I assume that's gotta be them.
Yep. And I'm following shortly behind. The one run that I've done in this game was with Wolf. Wolf is the GOAT.
Wolf is, if you're not gonna play Diggo and beat Optimal Andy, Wolf is not a bad pick. He's just Diggo, but his acceleration isn't as good.
245.06.
245.06 for Thrasher. I got a big urn, but I got smalled, so. Oh yeah, another thing about the small, super small note. If you try to boost while you're smalled, it does nothing.
You're just wasting your boost.
Actually nothing. You're just wasting your boost. I think my tank is not as good as I thought it was. That small really did hurt. This is going to be a 241.90. 241.90.
Cool, gotcha.
And now we're all going into port. We're all pretty RTA close.
Yeah.
It's just one of us is really ahead in game time because they keep pausing.
Yeah, that's all the time. Right there,
Yeah.
the 3 flashbangs that I paused on.
You've only gone 3? That's insane. I've gone so many.
On lap 1 of this track, I meant.
And now we see the pause strat in action. I literally just saw it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. No, it's just one of those things where it's really funny. Now we got this ain't Castle, this is Port Reverse. Port is a pretty good track. And now that we're like kind of like we've gone over the game, we've kind of talked a lot. I mean, how's everyone's day going? How are we feeling in terms of today's wonderful green day on Earth?
I finished packing today to go up to Minneapolis, which is where GDQ just was. Funny is, I was at GDQ, or I was in Minneapolis like up until the start of GDQ, and then now I'm going back after it ends.
Wow.
So I just dodged
You
it.
really
That's
just
crazy.
didn't want to go to GDQ, huh?
Yeah, I was up there for Pride, and now I'm going back to visit and look around, so...
Nice.
Yeah.
Small urn. Why is no one getting hype? Small urn, guys. Where's the big urns at, man? I swear.
Yeah, I got a lot of small urns on this track.
I was about to say,
That's my time on the big end. I think, honestly, no. Ash has been taking the ball in the first half. Like, gotta have a word.
Probably.
and I've been getting all of mine at the most inopportune time. Bigger!
Bigger! Not the
About
ratio! Oh my gosh.
My retinas.
Almost ran into an item box, and I don't know, I just had a feeling it was waiting for me.
Thrasher, that sounded so pained. Like, I genuinely felt like, I felt your pain.
Yeah, gonna need my eyes checked after this race, not gonna lie.
Why, you've been flashbanged a lot?
Yep.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Gonna be seeing spots when I go to sleep.
Oh, I actually hit one of them with the items. That's so funny.
Oh, all I'm gonna say is that I'm seeing some interesting RTA change in the lead. Also, getting Thrasher on top right. Oh, I should have said nothing. I spoke too soon.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, here's the thing. It's all about the RTA race. I mean, if Ash beats us in in-game time, like no one cares. That's like, it's just not true.
That's the try-hard way of winning. Like, you know.
These monsters ain't from a movie, right? No, this is a PS1 PAL-only game. And they wanted to make a Halloween-themed racer. And I forget what was the deadline. I think they only had like 3 months.
Oh.
Or something insane.
Oh no.
This game didn't even come out like during Halloween either.
No, it did not come out during Halloween.
Didn't it come out in like December or something?
Well, remember how I said they had 3 months? I guess they originally thought they'd get it done in 1.
I've got that time, Ash. You're all good.
340.56.
340.
340.56.
Nice. I feel like they should have made a tie-in movie for this game, though.
What would they call it? The Monster Racers, the movie, or? Oh my lord! Okay, funky camera. 327.24.
Nice.
So that's one thing I should have mentioned. I keep saying that, even though this game is just kind of like goofy. On some like turns, if you're about to fall off, but you don't, the camera gets like super janky. It like points straight down.
Mm-hmm.
That
happened.
You know, I never really realized it, but it's funny because Spyro actually does that too. If you think about it, like you know, when you sometimes like jump right at the last second, the camera will mess up. And
You heard it here, folks. Monster Racers is well put together as Spyro 1.
Yep.
Big
That's actually
Big
true.
Earn.
Spyro 1 is pretty bad. Big Earn! Big Earn! So yeah, another thing is since we need some self-sabotage, I think I'm just gonna mention how Ash needs to get smalled. Smalled? Small?
No.
Small.
Imagine if like the power-ups that we got in our respective games could affect the other runners.
Yeah.
Oh my
Throw this
God.
into like an archipelago or whatever. Like.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah, where people like unlock things for their friends. I don't quite understand how that works for some games, but I've seen the idea before.
Okay,
I
I'll
need
tell
to
you what.
know the lore behind why these monsters are racing. Oh my gosh.
There is.
There
lore.
was.
Not in the actual game, but in the game manual.
Yes.
Oh, what is it? I've
what-
actually got the manual right here. Like.
I do not have the manual on me, but I think what is it, Derek? It's something like the you know, the big jack-o'-lantern guy that's on the cover, which does not appear in the game at all. Like summons the monsters to race for some reason or something. I don't know.
Yeah, in the
Like,
opening
cool on you.
cutscene, which we could maybe show after the race, like he just summons all these guys like out of the graves and out of like a bunch of like generic Halloween settings. And as soon as they get like resurrected or brought to life, they're just like, well, shoot, we got a race now. It's just the most like.
I think it has to do with
Naturally.
like Gigaton summoning Master or something and causing devastation or some nonsense like that.
Yeah, there is a whole like folks know that the cases for PlayStation 1 games are like especially the power ones, you know, they're just kind of CD cases. There is a whole ass page of just a monologue from Jack O'Lantern and
Ratio. No.
like I could read it out, but I think, you know, this would keep us going until the end of the run.
Oh my gosh.
Don't
that's
worry,
so
the cutscene once you beat the game will clear any questions up that you have.
Oh my
That'll explain everything,
gosh! I
surely.
forgot about that cutscene. You want to talk about a cutscene? Oh my lord, that ending cutscene is. I say no one
Ouch.
talks during it, so like everyone can get the full effect. That ending cutscene is a masterpiece. I actually studied that in film school, which I definitely attended.
Definitely attended and not just stayed at home playing Monster Racer for the PlayStation 1.
True. I literally just got hit with a bat. That's funny. I haven't gotten a single in this track.
I got like non-stop runs on that jungle reverse.
Did I like acquire the wrong disc? Is this version 1.0 where they like patched the like items?
15.
Oh man. Man, this is just such a
Klein Egypten.
3:36:30.
Nice. Alrighty, what are the total in-game times? Okay, interesting.
Interesting. Oh,
That's all I'm gonna say.
you know, I wouldn't be last place if we just like minus a minute off my time.
I mean,
That's 3:42:06. Oh man, 3:42.
Gotcha.
That's yeah.
Oh yeah, we never mentioned that when like you're small for some reason, the like AI when they're also small, they're faster than you. Like even though you're both small.
Considerably. It's not even like small. Yeah.
It's balancing. It's balancing to balance out how much pushovers they are normally.
Yeah. Like we're lapping them like twice on some tracks if we're doing good.
No, we're on English. They just call it Egypte on the English version, and apparently on your German version, Ash. Apparently, like instead of it calling it Egypte, it's called Small Egypt.
Yeah, on most of the other languages, there's some sort of small Egypt or little Egypt, something to that degree.
incredible.
Yeah. No, this is. I mean, look, you have to give them credit. They supported like 7 languages.
This is honestly, I think this is my least favorite track because there's like 3 boxes the entire time. So a lot of times you're just going through with no urns at all. I say as I get a small urn at least. But and some of the turns are vicious. Some of the turns are like there's that one spot that's pretty rough.
Yeah, the Yeti is called Diggo, and he is the fastest because the game lies. I know we mentioned this, but a bunch of people have just tuned in. On the stats, like character stats screen, it tells you like their stats and like what they should have for speed, acceleration, and turning. The game just lies. Like it's like Diggo is supposed to have a 4 out of 10 when it comes to acceleration, but like looking at the game's code, we found out that's actually a 7 out of 10. Like, it's just like 3 spots off. Well, I guess technically it's 6.9, but it's basically rounded up to 7. So, like, he's just nice. He's just like 3 like spots higher than what he's supposed to be for acceleration alone. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, not to just shill Derek's video, but honestly, like watch Derek's video if you find this game funny at all, or just like have an interest in like why people speedrun at all in the first place, because it is a game, it is a video about this game, but it's also, you know, like a video about like why people speedrun, honestly.
Yeah. Shout out the video, man. We gotta get that link going.
There's way more lore and backstory to this game than you would ever expect. It's very funny.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Yeah, it's like we got a community. We kind of just played it, and the stuff that just happened, like it seemed like it was straight out of a movie. Sometimes, like it was like, oh come on, that didn't happen, and then like
246.74.
It's had a really bad.
This could be looking up for the kid. I had a pretty okay Egypt day.
PB might be dead after that one.
Speaking of kid, I hope Cartoon Kid's doing okay wherever they're at.
Yeah, the previous world record holder before Ricky took it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ricky had a pretty big milestone, didn't he, with the game there?
Yeah,
sub 1 hour. Yeah.
Traded record back for a little bit, and Ricky got sub hour. Yeah.
IGT. I got 24736. Not great.
It was like a 306 or something. I don't even remember.
Yeah. Is that a werewolf on a bone? It is. That's Wolf. The very descriptive name. His name's Wolf.
Probably the second best character.
It probably is the second best character in the game, for sure.
Shout out to the wolf stands out there. My guy.
Yeah. You guys just can't appreciate Peak. It's fine.
For
we can't
goodness
appreciate
sakes.
Peak. I think appreciate feet. Have you seen the size of the dogs on this guy? He should be called Doggo, not Digo, bro. He's got the dogs out.
Yeah. Digo's got like a bobsled feet. I will admit, he's
They're just kind of melded together. It's hard to see where the sled ends and the feet begin.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. Give me some urns, bro. Come on, I swear I enjoy this game more than anyone else here, please.
Oh, so that's how you deserve urns. Okay. Gaslighting the game, I see.
Look, you have to do that. I can't tell you the biggest love-hate relationship I've had with this game. It's insane how many times I've been like, I love this game, like, please give me the urns. Even it gives it to someone else who doesn't appreciate it. I'm just saying, like...
No, you don't get it. I want it more.
Yeah. I made the video, man. And it gave me reverse controls right off the edge. And it gave me reverse controls again.
It's listening to you whining.
Also, thanks for posting the link. Yeah, that video, there's a few parts where the editing's like kind of wishy-washy because I'm not that good. But like the storyline of that is crazy. Big Earn! Oh man.
Off the edge.
I'm gonna die.
I drove off the edge of my own accord and then got smalled immediately from my friends.
Whoa! I just got back boosted by the wolf. He like ran into me at like Mach 10.
Hilda's giving me some attitude.
That's where the task gets really optimized, getting boosts.
Boost, surely, yeah.
You're definitely not getting the big urns. You're definitely hoping for the character boost, surely.
That's the meta, surely.
Oh man. There's just something about it. You just don't know.
So we know that, you put that video together, sort of going over the history, talking about the game a little bit. When it comes to like, if somebody saw this and they're like, hey, I might want to learn this, like, what advice would you folks give? Ooh, let me get that time down real quick.
308:34.
What advice would I give someone who wants to get into Monster Racer? Honestly, pick it up and play it. I know a lot of speedrunners say that, but I think for Monster Racer itself, it's insanely pick up and play. It's like absurdly pick up and play.
Yeah, like it's optimal if the first experience you have with this game is just doing a blind run of it, to be honest. Like,
not only that, but
and if you're racing, like find somebody to race against, preferably.
Yeah. So when we
760.
Yeah. So when we race, we literally go in with like no practice at all. Like the three of us went into this particular race with no practice at all. Like it's that easy to just kind of pick up and just, play that kind of thing. So.
Yeah, if you saw the Evil Zone tournament, people talk about that game being a 2-button fighting game. This is kind of a 2-button racing game. Like if you were to dumb it down,
gas and boost, left, right, item button. So it's more than 2 buttons. You got 3. You got 3 buttons. Bigger. But like there's a lot of speed runs that I would say like watch a run or try to do a few speed running tricks to see if you can get a feel for it. For Monster Racer, like generally just go for it. Like boot up, like take an emulator, basically get yourself a copy of the game, burn it, to your PC, get it going. You good, man.
We'll just go out and buy it. Like I can't remember when it was announced, sort of in the time span of the week.
I haven't had it in like 3 weeks.
Because it's much easier, me being in Europe and all that. But I managed to get my copy within like 3 days. So the race was announced. It happened on the weekend of the week that was announced, and I could play it on hardware, which, a novelty that is harder for some folks, but I really enjoyed being able to pull that one out and be like, wait.
Yeah. Right now I'm playing on hardware, and I think that's why my luck's a bit worse. I think like generally like on hardware, the RNG values just get like flip-flopped. Like
yeah. It sounds like a skill issue to me.
You want to run by me again? I missed it. What'd you say?
I'm gonna stop talking. I'm like 40th on the leaderboard.
Oh man, that leaderboard is so funny to me though, because even though like this game's an RNG fest, like so many people have fun with it. Like you would expect a game this luck based for people to have fun. You would expect it to be like, oh, this game is so stupid. Like just keep resetting till you get lucky. Like everyone loves it for some reason. I don't know, like how it does it, but I've really had a bad experience with this game. Even now, like I'm having a blast, even though it's treating me bad. Until now, bigger.
Great timing. Yeah. I guess maybe it's just the accessibility. Like it really is just, you know, you could just boot it up and, you know, you kind of, if you just watch somebody run it, because basically the display that we're giving right now is like, here is the knowledge of the game. You know, we've gone through everything that there really is worth knowing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's insane. It's not only that, but not too many glitches you have to do, not too many techniques. I mean, get in, get out, you know, enjoy your time.
Yeah, the difference between like, record and somebody just like doing it, like what's the difference between in IDT between like record and somebody just like last place? Like I like it's like what, like 20 minutes maybe? Like
yeah,
it's not much.
Okay, that was my fault.
Oh, Thrasher, you are being thrashed around at the moment.
Yeah.
Thrasher being thrashed around. I like that.
328.14.
328.14.
328.14. I am going to get a 307.76. 307.76.
Gotcha.
Or my PC. Yeah, I misspoke. Just get yourself a copy of the game. Go on eBay.
Yeah, ain't too
go on
hard.
eBay. Get yourself a copy of the game. It's so good.
Yeah, mine was like £10. In fact, actually, let me do some fact checking. Let's see how much
We're gonna skyrocket the Monster Racer market like right now. Like 3
I think I need to sell my copy actually. Yeah, I need to sell my copy. Surely it's on the rise.
Hold up, I'm gonna do some scalping real quick.
You didn't listen to me on when to sell NCAA Football 14.
I know. I will say I did sell my Pokemon Heart Gold recently, and someone bought it for $179.
Ooh,
which
goodness.
Stocks.
which it's one of those things where like I know this is super off topic, but like I like Pokemon games. Well, not Pokemon games. I like that one Pokemon game. It's like the only Pokemon game I've ever enjoyed. But like I'm not a big Pokemon fan. Big Earn! So when I saw people were buying it for like $170, it was like,
yeah, if you don't have like any attachment to it, then yeah, why not?
Yeah, it's like
I still have my childhood
Pokemon
one,
game
but
I
I
enjoy.
haven't convinced myself.
Bigger.
It's
Bigger.
like yellow and crystal and leaf green.
Well, that's the problem is people, it's not that those games sold bad. Those games sold like what, tens of millions of copies. It's that so many people don't want to sell them. So when people want to buy them, it's like, oh, I'm willing to pay like such a high amount because no one wants to sell them.
Ratioed.
You got ratioed? No. Big Earn into the small Earn. You hate to see it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
no.
got my copy of this game for £9.99, which I think
What a
is
sell.
a very good investment, personally.
Bigger.
I know in the video I talk about how Ricky got his copy. He bought it at a flea market for like $3, I'm pretty sure he said.
Let's go.
like $3 he bought it, and then it was just like, oh, like this game is really funny.
I was gonna have such a good mind, then I got spoiled on the last lap.
I really need to.
4x mind, but
I really need to start thinking about playing this game with sunglasses on.
With the flashbang, yeah.
154.42.
The flashbangs
thank
are
you
so
for not
bad.
catching me, Tornado. I like went right through a tornado with a big Earn, it just didn't.
55.20.
What happened was one frame you were in front of it, and the next frame you were past it. It couldn't catch you.
Yeah.
I got 155.36.
Nice. Ooh, very close there.
Yeah.
Yeah, folks, you were all within a second of each other on that on that race.
Ooh, look at that. Look at that.
I'm not going to say that you are within 1 second of all your IGTs, though.
Yeah, like I said, some of us are cheating, some of us are manipulating game values. I mean,
Look,
it's
so
just-
you know, sometimes the new tech is discovered in a speed game, and you know, like sometimes the old guard just gets smashed up and left behind.
Fire, flames. We need some smack talk. I can't believe it's taken this long to really get it. We gotta get under each other's skin right now, in an endearing way, of course.
Derek, Ash, I value you both as friends, and I think you're awesome. Period.
I hope you get really bad luck though. I hope you get smalled 5 times. No, actually make that 6.
Okay, well I got flashbang twice. Are you happy?
I got
and
smalled.
Derek just got smalled.
So much for the trash talk. I feel like
the shield was actually clutch for me there. I ran right into a tornado, but I was shielded out.
Yo, Marathon Man. This guy did a run at the last GDQ and killed it. So good to see him in chat from Monster Racer.
It's got to be done.
Did you watch Marathon's?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
I said the best part was Marathon Man trying to get like the people on the couch to explain tricks for him, and they're just every time there's like, yeah, this trick is so hard, I hate it, and then Marathon Man just had to actually explain it every time.
It's so funny, yeah. I tried to donate during. Oh, I just. Okay, and I hit bear trap as soon as I respawned.
Wow.
I just went through like the map, but okay. Yeah, no, I donated during Marathon Man's run, and I was just telling him how proud I was. And man, I mean, that was a good run.
Well, that shows, folks. That shows like how tight knit the PlayStation lot are. Like,
Look, I think we've said it once. The PlayStation Nation is slowly getting up there. We're not going to be as big as Joe Schmo Mario Bro, but I mean, we're trying to get there.
What did I just see there, Derek? Did I see some pausing when the flashbang came up?
No, I didn't do nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Rules for thee, but not for me.
I don't know what you're talking about. Like, my game was like lagging, and I paused because it was lagging. I was like, it's like lagging for some reason. I need to pause.
I can't remember what the first part of the phrase is, but you either
On the
whatever, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain, and I think that is exactly what we've just seen.
Yeah.
And
Real talk, I haven't done it at all until that moment because I was on Iceberg and I was like, okay, I'm like, everyone's doing it. I'm on Iceberg, about to go into a tight corner. I was kind of just like, man.
Right, got you there, Ash. Did you say 3 or did you mean 2, Thrasher? That looked like a 2.
249.08.
Yeah,
I got
gotcha.
247.34.
Nice.
247.34.
Got you. Alrighty. I mean, RTA, you folks are all super close.
Good.
Exciting times.
We all know who's winning. We all know.
Time for the great separator. It is Teeth Pass.
Teeth Pass reverse.
Call me crazy. I think we could catch up if Ash mysteriously had to use the bathroom.
Or I just don't get any urns on Teeth Pass. Like, just like a minute.
Yeah, Teeth Pass is definitely like a ooh.
And then Derek just casually drops the hidden strat that he actually flew to Ash's house just randomly before the race and slipped laxatives into their drink.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I was under the opinion I showed up to their house and I'm right by the power grid.
Oh no.
But yeah, T-Pass reverse. We do the spiral downward, which is a little bit easier than upward in my opinion. And then we do like the stair.
we didn't talk about the very silly left versus right D-pad thing.
What?
Oh.
Pardon?
Yeah.
What? Do they steer differently?
Oh
I
my
forget which
gosh.
it is, but left or right is like 2% better at turning on D-pad than the other way.
It's right. It's right.
And,
Since you're drifting like left, like I don't know how it was found, but it's like turning right is like better on D-pad.
it's the same on analog, but for some reason on D-pad it's ever so slightly different. That's
Monstrous.
Monstrous.
Look. I just like to think this game has hidden tech. Like, have you guys ever played Melee before? Like Melee
Never.
has wave dash and arrow cut. Like it has so much tech. This game is as tech pilled as Melee. Oh! I just ran straight into the tornado of death. I'm sorry for the audio, but tornado is possibly the worst thing you could run into.
Oh, and as you said that, I got smalled, which I think is just definitely worse than tornado. And
It's not by much. Let me make that clear. Not by much.
no, it's not by much.
And I get small. Keep your mouth shut. Oh man. And we're in
Flashbang, yeah,
as
it
well.
is. At this stage, is being mean to all of you. Don't feel like one of you
We're
is
getting
getting
rolled.
more than the rest.
Yeah, we are getting rolled out here. It's pretty bad. I don't think not much. I don't think any of us have gone earns as well.
I got a
We've seen
smaller-
we've seen a couple
You got a
small
small
ones. Yeah.
Nice, couple small. Nice. I think I'll rephrase the question. I think I'm the only one who has not gone anywhere.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Bonk.
Project your
Yeah, I'm
lack
happy
of
we're able
urgency.
to show this game off. I just think it's really funny. And this may have been copium safe, but I did submit this to the one GDQ I attended because I thought it was just so funny.
I think what would be
So I'm
great
so
at like a
happy
big
it
marathon
ended.
or something.
Oh, goodness.
is, like a relay of this game of just like
Mm.
with a fair amount of them being people who have never played the game before. Just doing
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I
Puts me in
reckon. When is the tournament gonna happen? Like,
Oh,
what I
tournament.
wanna-
the tournament.
the infamous
dude.
Monster Racer Grand Prix.
That would actually go so hard. Like a
would go hard.
Monster Racer
like
tournament.
honest, yeah, I would totally join that. I'm not joking.
64-person bracket, surely.
Yes, it's gotta happen.
It'd be so funny because there'd be so many upsets just because of luck. It'd be like, oh yeah, I'm done. Oh man. While we're doing this, we're coming near the end of the run because after this, it's just volcano again. I know we still have a few minutes to spare, but I'll say it once, I'll say it again. Thanks for having us on. This has been a pretty fun, goofy time.
Yeah, this has been really fun.
Yeah, it's no problem. Like joining in on the race. So when people were explaining, Powell only, I was just like, I could get this on my show. But I just gotta kind of fit it in thematically somehow. And when I saw that, the series was coming up, and I was just like, okay, I've got some PlayStation 1 things planned. I reckon we can slip these guys in. And I'm so glad that there were enough folks up for racing it. Oh my gosh, Thrashy, it's happening again.
Part of it was my own making, though. Like, two of those items were mine.
Black threw a bat directly behind me, hit both of us, and then he wanted to try to run me over.
You gotta respect
I know.
Black.
That's not very
Bigger.
nice. Bigger.
Bigger.
I don't think I don't
Also,
think
get
We're
that
like
here.
5 minutes into Teeth Path, and that has to be the first big run any of us have gotten. Where you're up.
yeah, this isn't good. Yeah, remember I said you want a big run on Teeth Pass? It also goes the other way. If you don't get a big run on Teeth Pass, you lose way more time than you would expect.
Smaller, and I know we don't shout for that, but I'm taking it.
Smaller. Oh wait, you gotta do it quietly. Smaller.
You get bigger and you gotta be loud, but smaller and you gotta be like, oh, small. Man. Interesting time. That's the worst part of this game is when you drive right by the item box. You don't even get a chance to roll for the luck.
Yeah.
But on the other end of it, you don't get flashbanged or reverse steered or,
I'd rather take that and just
Bigger
hope.
and
I'm
again, right
a
at the
gambling
end.
man.
Bigger.
bigger and right at the end. Oh, goodness.
Also, I hope everybody's been enjoying the music. The music is fantastic in this game.
Yeah. It's just the sound effects in this game is so funny because like say what you will about like anything else, the sound effects in this game
06.
are like better than you expect.
Nice. Oh yeah, 006. Scary.
62646.
626.
I don't know how close I am to PB, but this has to be pretty close. I don't know if I'm quite on it, but we'll see. We'll have to see at the end.
I'm just gonna say it now. might not be 100% accurate. The images
Might not be
I've been
100%
getting,
accurate?
but it'll be somewhat accurate.
628.96.
628.96.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Oh man. I'll tell you what, RTA though, we're doing great on estimates because we he's off the bat. Oh yeah, we should mention the boss characters. If you lose, you have to redo their track. And
It's only happened a few times in Monster Racer history.
Yeah.
Oh, he
That
went
must be some criminal community worsts if
Oh
if
yeah,
people were
we're
losing to
talking
that.
like 7-minute community worsts.
Yeesh.
Because there was one person who failed the race twice, like they lost twice.
Oh my gosh. Were
Okay,
they
I could
trying?
really do without the reverses.
With all due respect, were they trying?
They were, but it was they may have been intoxicated.
Oh,
Okay, that's a nice way of putting it.
don't drink in Monster Racer, kids.
Or
Don't
do it,
drink
probably
at
make it
Monster
funner.
Racer, true.
Preach. Alrighty, well, as we are on the final lap, if we might as well, whilst we're here, are there any shout outs that people want to give?
Oh, I definitely have some. I want to give a shout out to the Monster Racer community who showed up in chat today, even though they wasn't participating. The fact that they showed up on a whim's notice is incredible. Yeah. So yeah, shout out to them, and then shout out to these two guys for deciding to still race. You know, it's been a very, very fun time.
Shout out for Derek literally approaching me out of the clear blue and go, "Hey, you." Oh, by the way, Big Earn. Shout out to the Big Earn.
Shout out to everyone!
So yeah, Derek, thanks for inviting me into this little shindig here. A nice little monster race with friends.
Yeah.
I'm coming up on the end here. And GG.
Time for
GG.
Ash. Nice, that was a 7. Cool. I will wait on telling you the final time, of course.
And 2:17.70. GG.
1770. Okay. That's time for Thrasher. And then not too far behind RTA.
Oh, I'm behind him. But he's lapped. He just fell off the track.
And he fell off the
Okay.
track. Lol.
so much for a final boss. Dude can't even stay on the track. Oh, bozo. And this nice wall bump. And I also get 217. 217.46.
2.
Should we look at the beautiful, beautiful in-game cutscene that looks
Yeah, before we do the results, let's watch this cutscene and be quiet. I think it's just so good.
If you all play at the same time, it will be amazing. We'll get it having going
Okay,
simultaneously.
you ready? I'm on the
3 times.
password screen.
I'm
Let's
also
make
on
sure
the
we get it
password.
down.
Okay, I'm on it.
Okay, someone counts down.
I'm gonna do it. 3, 2, 1. Cutscene. Go.
All right, let's go.
Spam based clacks in chat if you got them.
Wow, they really liked that shot, didn't they?
Yeah, for sure.
What?
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Well, I think that just about
explain all of
wraps
your
everything
questions
up.
It all makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, if you really wanna know how this game turned out, how it is, keep an eye out for the international testers in the credits
Oh
here.
my god.
And you'll see how this game turned out, how it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
So good.
Before we get
So-
to that, are you ready for the times, everybody?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, so with a valiant effort in 3rd place, I'm in-game time of 1:05.43. We have Thrasher. Everybody, well done, Thrasher. Round of applause.
We podiumed.
We have true, yeah. The only person not on the podium is Ricky. Lol. Anyway, we have in second place with a 104.57. We have Derek. Round of applause for Derek, everybody.
Okay, I'll take a 104. 104 is actually pretty good.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
then, again, these might not be 100% accurate. Might be some human error in there. I'm doing a bit of hosting. I'm doing a bit of everything. We have got first place with a 103.37. We have Ash.
Nice. I think that
GG.
makes sense because they were pausing for every flashbang and they were still with us RTA.
This guy, he will not let it go.
No. They were still with us RTA, so I think that makes a lot of sense. Because we also sort of mentioned, I know I called their emulator the cheater emulator, but Thrasher had sped up loads and I was on FDS.
Yeah.
So the fact that Ash was still with us is like actually insane. So we were all about a minute apart of each other. Wait, that's insane actually. 103.37, 104.57, dude.
Yeah, everyone had like good runs. Like that's actually a really good result.
Yeah.
Like
Because if we go to the leaderboard, not trying to throw anyone under the bus, I think that's like top what, like 5
That's it.
times? Oh, that's like
that's
top
like
7
top 7
times.
or 8 now. Yeah.
Jeez, dude, they got
Nice.
too good. My goodness.
Well, the real monster racers were the friends we made along the
Made
way.
along the way. Hey.
Nice. Well, we heard most of the shout outs. If there are any last ones before we head off into the next game, now's the chance.
Last shout out. Thank you for letting us do this.
Yeah,
I said it
thank
so
you.
many times, but seriously, this was cool, especially everyone in chat who showed up. So yeah, huge thanks to the GDQ. Make sure you guys stay around for the next run.
Yep, stick around for
Shout out
Daxter.
sucked. And if you want to find out who that is, watch Derek's video.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Awesome. Well, folks, if you enjoyed any of this monster racing action, we've been having it going through the run. And if you're catching up on this on a re-upload, we will have links for all of the Twitches for these runners to go and check them out, because they've poured in their love into this game and have brought it to you today. So it's worth going and showing them some love if you are interested in what else they do. A big thank you to all of them once again. Our best wishes for the Rixer, who was going to be joining us, but was a little bit unwell. So wishing him the best. But yes, that is only the first half of Going Places. We are going from one monster to another. Would we call him a monster? I don't know. He's some kind of otter weasel thing. We are going to be going over to the PlayStation Portable with Daxter, the Otzel, whatever that's really supposed to be. Majora is going to be taking us through all missions in just a little bit. We are going to be heading over to a break as we get everything ready. Just a reminder that you can join the official GDQ Discord and at the Hotfix role if you want to keep tabs on upcoming events, talk with the staff and showrunners, and more. Use !Discord in the Twitch chat for more info. Whilst we get to this break, make sure if you haven't and you do have the capacity to do so, just have a little stretch. Make sure you're staying hydrated, and we will see you very, very shortly. Sorry, I didn't see you there. I was busy playing Daxter on my PlayStation Portable. We are going to be seeing somebody do a much better job of what I could do of that in just a little bit's time, but let's just have a little reminder. If you've just joined us, this is the Games Done Quick Hotfix. These are little shows that we scatter in between our mainline events, Awesome Games Done Quick and Summer Games Done Quick. We have actually just had Summer Games Done Quick, which was a raging success, raised over 2.5 million for Doctors Without Borders, and it's just a phenomenal time. If you're interested in any of the runs that have happened during that time, they are all up on our YouTube. You can find that at gamesdonequick.com. You can also find any highlights from, this show. If you missed the monster racing at the start, that was a lot of fun. You should go and check that. Or if you just want to see what else we've been doing on Hotfix, that is, of course, on our YouTube. Before we go into this Otzel action, I'll also talk about what other events we've got coming up. GDQ is going to be going to PAX yet again, PAX West. Schedule is going to be released on July the 14th. Hold up, July 14th. Well, I'm on July 13th already, so that's going to be tomorrow for me. It's going to be in 2 days for most of you, but on Sunday. So use !PAX in the Twitch chat for more info. And GDQ's next all-women and femme speedrunning event, Flame Fatales, returns August the 18th to the 25th. You can use !FF in the Twitch chat to check out the schedule and let us know what you're looking forward to most. But, like we said, we are going to be doing some Daxter Otzel action. I don't actually know whether we will see that clip out in the game, but I'm going to let two folks who know infinitely more about the game than I do take it away. So, Majora, how are you doing today?
Doing good. How are you doing?
I've been really enjoying this show, and since the start of Going Places, this has been a game that I've wanted to have on, and I know that we initially kind of DM'd a little while back, and time wasn't quite right. So the fact that it is now on the show, I am super excited to see you do this run. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good.
I'm super excited to show it to you. So
awesome. We're ready when you are.
All right. So I will be starting after pressing circle here to load the save file. Before we get started, I'd like to introduce Albi, my commentator here.
Hello. I'm here to get commentate and hopefully not fall asleep.
And we're hopefully gonna have a fun, good old time.
Yeah.
Yes, and hopefully complete the full game all missions instead of the demo all missions.
Hopefully. Maybe we'll credits work this time. Who knows? All right. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
And so very early here, when Majora gets started, he's actually going to do his first mission out of order. He's going to do the third mission here by doing a clip out of bounds on this box. So he's going to get close enough to this corner between the box and the wall.
Nice.
Got a first try just like that. And from here, he's going to do a little out of bounds movement to jump into the teleporter. And just like that, he's entered third level. It's not a story order that you have to do in this category. And so there are a few advantages to doing the third level first that mainly have to do with routing. But other than that, there's it's not massively a ton going on in the first level here, Breeze Valley. It's just make sure to not use up too much bug spray. We actually haven't picked up the bug spray yet. You're supposed to do that in the second level, but they're very nice to us and let us use bug spray anyways. It's the only part in the entire game where they just let us use bug spray regardless, which is how we can do this as our first level, which is really, really nice. The story behind this game is that this is right before Jack 2, when Jack is in prison. And Daxter's been kind of relaxing, kind of telling his tall tales. But now he's going to do some bug exterminating and hopefully save Jack after that.
That's the Queen, Daxter. Don't let her
It's a PSP spin-off of the Jack and Daxter series. It's really, really good.
First.
And,
Oh no.
Oh well, I can.
Majora didn't get quite far enough out in order to get the Hive Queen here to turn around. I think his Hoffman, but didn't register. But you can still cut the path of the Hive Queen off a bit when going this side around as well. It only saves a little bit of time to make your turnaround. But feels like you have to back it up a bit, but that was pretty quick backup.
Nice.
Yeah, I've had
It's
these
all good.
before, so I know how to back that up, how to improvise. We're doing a save load right there because it's faster than just driving back to the portal.
Yep. Really useful that it just sends us right to the portal. And look at this. Is this a 90s movie reference?
No way. Have we just changed to a different game?
It appears so. I mean, Daxter just fell asleep and all of a sudden we're playing Matrix.
Yeah, we're playing the Matrix now. This is a Matrix speedrun.
People are really
Yeah.
going to tell me that they don't have dreams like this. Like this is every other night.
Yeah. So there's dream levels in this game. This is the only required one. So that's why it's the only one we do in this all missions, because the other ones are not considered missions. Which having every category at this point is starting off with an auto-scroller where you can't really do anything wrong is not that great, but it works out. I think it's worst for Enemy Sun, where you just reset in Greasy Valley, then you take a little bit of an intermission in the Matrix, and then you just reset after. You just go all the way back to Greasy Valley then. It's not best.
So what I've picked up with like my minimal amount of learning is that, kind of everything's predetermined in the stage. It's kind of, rhythm-ish game. But then when you're on your last 10, you can do something.
Yes,
You can make an awful noise happen right here.
Ooh, nice.
And just skip the last 7 or 8 of them because you have enough health to tank it.
Usually when you press the button early, it will still have the enemy go all the way up to punch you, so it doesn't really save time, except for at that last little bit of time there, where you can just spam it and end it a little bit early. So that in particular is why it's important to try and stay healthy throughout the level, so you can just tank the damage at the end. And here, Major is going to do something that's going to seem pretty insignificant. He's going to go into the brewery and immediately leave, which seems odd. But the reason for this is because you get the power-ups in Daxter by watching specific cutscenes. The cutscene that Major just watched gives us the hover attachment to the bug spray that I mentioned earlier. So when he gets the bug spray, it's going to allow him to hover with the bug spray, which is very important for movement. So even though we're going to delay brewery until we have more equipment in order to do it quickly, for now we at least want to make sure we have the hover attachment.
Weird camera.
Another thing you might notice every now and again is that Majora tries to single jump as much as possible. He's also holding his camera at an angle. He's not holding it immediately behind Daxter. Both of those are just to speed him up. Single jumping is the kind of movement that Daxter can do aside from hovering. And angling his camera at 45 degrees specifically speeds him up. 90 degrees doesn't really do it that much, but 45 degrees is a nice balance where for some reason the game just has Daxter move faster, whether it's him jumping, walking, hovering, he just moves faster the entire time.
Yeah, it's almost like you're pulling the level towards you, which is weird.
It's particularly worthy to note the camera in a PSP game like Daxter because there's no stick for the camera on the PSP. So one thing they do to try and make it easier to control the camera, which do with the right and left bumper buttons, is to have it always try to correct to have the camera be behind Daxter, which is how you would normally play, which means that when we try to keep it at a 45-degree angle, we're constantly tapping the button in order to keep it steady at the same camera angle.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to ask because, Albie, I know that you run on emulator and this current run is on hardware. Like Majora, how do you find playing this on a PSP?
I mean, I grew up with a PSP,
Okay.
so the controls, they're perfectly fine to me. I actually, because of playing it so much with PSP, find it a bit more odd to play it on a PS5 and emulator.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I know there's some differences between with buffering buttons and minor things like that.
How's it?
For the most part, there's not too much of a difference between the emulator and playing on PSP, so it works out well for speedruns.
Nice. I was about to ask Albie whether you had tried on a PSP or not.
I have not tried it on a PSP.
Ooh.
I have been intending to, but it's just never come around to it.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. It's nice that it is accessible through other things, and yeah, like you mentioned, PlayStation 5. That's a new development. That's in the past month or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we saw some new people checking out, coming into the Daxter part of the Jack and Daxter speedrunning Discord. We even had some new runners doing their first 20% run, which was really cool. It's not a super active speedrun, so any amount of new runners gets noticed.
Yeah, the PS5 version as well would be the best version for any percent, but we can't fully use TMS how it needs to be used, so...
Yeah, I think it would be better for the long runs, unless there's some gaps that doesn't work there that we haven't noticed because we probably mainly checked 20%.
You have to do the skip into BV1 a little bit different,
Yeah.
and it loses some time compared to PSP and emulator, but other than that, everything for all missions and no TMS seemed to work perfectly fine when I tried them. So at the very
in that
least,
case-
you know, all missions and no TMS if you want to run on PS5.
Yeah, it's better loads, I think, is what we came to. So yeah, it probably saves a little bit of time for that. Yeah, that was the hotel. A few skips here and there, but mostly it was collecting the skull gems. There are a few levels like that where the mission is to collect a certain amount of skull gems. In that case, it was collecting 25 and bringing them back to the concierge. So it's pretty straightforward mostly with the hotel, but there was some event clipping and some other stuff that came uncommented on that we can mention as we're going across. But since event clip is actually coming up soon, I guess I can explain it. So there are crawl spaces where most of them you can actually get into without crawling. And the reason for this is that when Daxter lands after a jump, he crouches down a bit, so his hitbox gets a bit lower. You might be able to tell that as the Majora is jumping around, how his head just goes down, and he's going to do that on this stand right here. Which does become funny when you see once he's inside the vent and the head's just sticking through the vent, but he's still able to just walk through.
I'll take you up.
And then it's a fast. And so here, you're gonna see Majora able to hover right away. Normally, when you get the bug spray, you wouldn't expect to be able to do that because you get the hover attachment in Brewery, which is the 5th level, and this is only the 2nd level. But because of doing levels out of order here, you can get a little bit of time save in this mission from being able to hover.
Got a spray refill as well, that's nice.
Vaguely impressive. One more to go.
The spray refill means that you should be able to do just a full hover later on with the pipes and everything and still be fine.
Oh, damn. Oh, wow.
That sucks. You get a little low there. That projectile from the worm metal bug is a little annoying. And yes, I did learn today that they are apparently metal bugs and not metal heads. That is apparently a difference between Daxter and the rest of the Jak and Daxter series that I never knew. That the metal bugs in Daxter are considered separate from the metal heads in the later Jak games. Just a neat little thing I found out. Just randomly checking out the wiki page of the final boss in this game.
Vaguely impressive. One more to go.
Yeah, interesting considering in Jak 2 you have giant spiders.
And so you're seeing sometimes he's trying to get some swatter combos in, since that's often the fastest way to be able to kill enemies at this point in the game, where once you've got a combo going, every swatting will do tons of damage to enemies. A lot of them get one shot by a single swat once you've got the combo going. So trying to keep it going and not attacking the enemies separately is generally what we try to do at this point in the game before we get the flamethrower attachment.
And once we get that, we get to do a whole bunch of other tricks.
By far the most important upgrade in the speedrun.
Yeah, having the extra height it gives is just really helpful everywhere.
Well, unless you count the hover, which is very important.
Well, yeah.
But since the flamethrower comes later, it kind of feels like an assumption to always have the hover when you flamethrower.
Yeah.
Calling Daxter. Come in, Daxter.
So right here, you're going to see something interesting, where the entrance he's going to go into is going to be how you normally enter Breezy Valley 1, by entering that cutscene. However, because he's already done Breezy Valley 1, when he goes through the teleporter here, it will be Breezy Valley 2, which is a pretty big skip in the mission progression. I think it's like level 7 or something.
Normally you do it after Strip Mine 1.
Actually, it becomes level 8 because it's you do Brewery, then the transit system, and then Strip Mine 1, and then finally you can get to Breezy Valley. Which is really nice that we can do the second Breezy Valley mission this early into the run, because it means Tanker 1 isn't too late. It's always a bit scary going into Tanker 1, so to be able to push it earlier into a run feels very good. But coming up here, he's going to try and set up a triple kill, because instead of having one Hive Queen with 3 points of health, there's going to be 3 Hive Queens with 1 point of health here. So he tried to get in position there. He definitely got the double kill, and
we got
seems like the triple kill.
Nice.
It's not too difficult to get the double kill there, as long as you don't chase away the first one. But getting the triple kill is pretty precise in the position. So really nice majority to get that line up well.
Yeah, I put a lot of time into practicing and studying my recordings of when I didn't get it and when I did get it. It's definitely not easy to get, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. And here, Daxter finally learns, oh wait, yeah, part of this is I'm supposed to, like, actually help Jack. Because he's been kind of busy with his job as an exterminator. And then he just runs into Jack being transported on this zoomer. But I don't even think during the chase
yeah, no, Jack,
it's just an empty
Jack's
cage.
not loaded in, but I promise he's there.
He's there in the cutscenes.
Wow, Dax is such a fake friend. It's just like, oh yeah, Jack. Oh man. Oh, it sucks to be him, I guess.
Yeah, or how he didn't really do something for 2 years, like the start of this game.
2 years.
You have a cutscene, and then it's like 2 years later.
Oh my gosh.
And it properly starts because that's how long Jack is in confinement.
Oh man.
So they had to play around with that when creating the continuity for this game to take place.
That's hilarious. I mean, actually, you know, like, sorry for Jack, but
Oh no.
He's only being experimented on. It's fine.
yeah, Dax still needs some time to shine, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's gonna get some sick powers. Why wouldn't he love some sick ego powers?
Yeah.
Man, DLF. Ooh. Dark Daxter. That was something.
So are you two like just fans of the series as well, or what was it that kind of like sparked the joy for this game?
I grew up with the Jack and Daxter games.
Okay.
So it's like childhood nostalgia, and I just like platformers, like collectathons.
Nice.
Yeah, I liked collectathons as well growing up. However, Jack and Daxter is one of those series that I definitely had the opportunity to play as a kid, but I just didn't end up taking it and ended up regretting it later when I played as an adult and really enjoyed it.
Okay.
Because I know I had a friend who had the Jack and Daxter games, which I do remember briefly seeing him playing Jack 3 and just never actually asking to play or anything.
Here we go.
And then
Big skip.
It got to a point where I actually I started speedrunning Daxter before I played any of the other Jack and Daxter games. But yeah, here's the big trick. He's gonna wait until the platform comes up here so he can boost it up, hover out of bounds, and then he's gonna try and get the visual line up here to hover to a platform out of bounds.
Oh no!
It's really difficult. The camera angle was kind of hard to see the visual cue there to get into the right position. This is the first really, really scary trick whenever you do give you a chance, in my opinion, of this category.
Yeah, it is.
One of the three henchmen of killing your runs.
There we go.
Yes,
Ooh,
nice.
Second try. Very good. So he doesn't have a checkpoint yet, so he has to be a little careful.
Yeah.
But
we get Jack 2 checkpoints.
not quite that bad, thank you. But you do have to be careful of that when you do things out of order, that you don't necessarily have a checkpoint. I think that's worse than Tanker 2, where we just don't get a checkpoint at all.
Yeah.
I've definitely had situations like that where I've done something solely in transit system and been like, oh yeah, I now have to do the entire train section again because I didn't grab the checkpoint.
Yeah, I always grab the checkpoint there now.
Yeah, I started doing that as well. After the one time where I killed the run for not doing it. Which actually is the reason why my most recent run didn't die. Kinda important.
Yeah, see, there you go.
So Jory's approaching 30 here. He's gonna get the last one from this big one. And this is actually the only level in the game that's a bit of a scam in that it actually forces us to do 2 missions instead of just one. It's not enough for us to just collect the skull gems here. We also have to do a mini game at the end, which is a bit unfortunate because we can skip it. So because it's considered part of a mission, we cannot because this is the all missions category. So we just have to sit through it.
Yep. So
he's going to be controlling this tick.
Yeah.
And just pressing the cross, circle, and triangle and square buttons on the right timing. And if he ever fails, then you have to restart everything from the beginning.
Oh, that sucks.
They are pretty slow, but unlike Jack and Daxter minigames of similar varieties in Jak 2 or anything, it's not like you have 5 lives. You have a single life.
Are these
but
ones?
You don't have to hit 500 things.
Are these ones also predetermined, like Matrix game, or are these a bit more random?
These are more random.
Yeah, I think they're more random. This one has 3 cycles, so...
The Matrix game, in terms of the buttons press, isn't entirely predetermined. It's like 50% predetermined, pretty much.
Okay.
But this one is pretty much completely random. Which order the buttons come out, where they come out. Like sometimes you can have, you can see the 2 processors in the middle. On both sides. They come out from there and go very quickly to the thing there, so you gotta be careful just like that. They're a bit sneaky sometimes. And sometimes you can get like pretty much none of them, and it's just the threat that it might come eventually.
Yeah.
But other times you get tons of buttons coming through there. One clue to see if you're getting those is just how many buttons you see on the field. If you see a gap between when buttons would arrive, that's pretty much a clue that one of them is going to be one of the quick ones in the middle.
Gotcha.
Majora got through it no problem. And then there we have another cutscene that's significant. It's one of those upgrade cutscenes. It's the one that gives the flamethrower attachment. So he's going to be able to hover higher, and he's going to be able to kill enemies with the flamethrower, which is very important. But he's not going to need to use it immediately. First, he's going to do a save load here. And the reason for this is he does it in a spot where he's kind of in the middle of the city port and the distillery. So he's going to get proxied up and then hover out of bounds to enter the distillery from out of bounds. It's not a long elevator ride that you skip, but it does skip having to wait for both the doors, and the elevator ride is also extremely slow. So it does end up saving quite a bit of time.
They made the great hotel elevator music, but only put it in the hotel elevators.
Yeah. That's another good reason to skip the elevators, honestly. Yeah, as you can see here, it's so much quicker to use the flamethrower than when you have to do tons of smack in order to start a combo, and maybe not even all the time being able to utilize the combo to its full potential. to now just be able to throw out the flamethrower there. It's really nice. And this jump that Major is doing is very tight. Just barely got it. So he made sure to get the boost from angling his camera. He actually wouldn't be able to do it without angling his camera there. That's actually how difficult the jump across there is. I even normally do an extended jump there just to make it, because I find the angling the camera there really difficult because of the walls.
Yeah, walls work interesting with the camera in this game. They're kind of a factor in how it pushes the camera away from you, because the camera will get stuck on them sometimes. That's fine.
Skipped an eco there, but definitely has enough eco in the tank to reach the second one, so not too big of a deal.
Nice.
I think we agreed last time that was wine in that room.
Yeah.
That is the story. Daxter does struggle with water, so it's not weird that he would also struggle with wine.
You'd think that he wouldn't struggle with water being, what is it, part otter, part weasel?
Yeah.
Yeah, and hot soul.
Yeah, because like otters love water, like they live in water all the time. How strange.
I don't know, maybe it's all that fur. I don't know if they're all that furry normally.
Yeah,
So Daxter is very furry.
he's trying his best.
And so here, Majora might go for a bit of an extended jump, just a small one. No, you're just gonna
Cameraman
do
effect,
the...
of course.
Yeah. I was thinking about it because I usually do it again. I was hoping that I would finally get to explain it, but I'll have to hold off on that.
Yeah, I don't know if I do any extended jump. I do a lot more camera manip to make all the extended jumps, because I'm not confident in my ability to do all the extended jumps instead.
And meanwhile, I started running before we really got into manipulating the camera, and I'm a lot more confident in my extended jumps than manipulating the camera in certain situations where some of the gaps and the walls can be annoying sometimes.
Gotta say, I do love how this game looks, and like, you know, PSP games were very impressive. Like, it was kind of having like a mini PS2, and I don't know, the way that they make use of, you know, what the PSP can do in this game, I don't know, it's a really good looking game. I don't know how you two feel about it.
Yeah, I feel like they were really clever about what needed to be active and inactive at any given time to try and push the PSP to really show off what it can do. Not really constantly checking collision and other things like that, which we do abuse a bit in the speedrun, but definitely helps out with the PSP being able to handle a game like this.
Yeah, it's really surprising to me too how well that it runs, because it's, you know, there's no load screens or anything. It's like the other Jack games. It's just you walk and there's the next area. You go through the door and, you know, it loads the next area. Not like some games that take a second to load the next level before it puts you in.
Well, having said that, things probably would be a little bit slower on UMD, I imagine.
Oh yes.
What a beautiful form of media. But yeah, I don't think I know a set. There might be, but I don't think I know a single PSP game that isn't ran, off the memory card, because UMD's, they're optical format, so it's not particularly quick.
Yeah, and then you have the PSP's disc reader, which also is not.
I popped a UMD in it the other day, and the noises that it made, I was like, oh gosh, something's gonna blow up. I'm gonna.
Yeah, they don't sound very nice. Much better to just play stuff off the memory stick.
One pretty interesting thing about this Skull Gem collecting level, unlike the other ones, is having some problem here with the ice block. Seems like it should be fine.
There we go.
Alright, nice. The interesting part here is that usually when you're doing Skull Gem collecting levels, you see us actually going to the end in the way that you would expect, doing it casually as well. However, this one stands out as the only one where we just go straight back out to the entrance that we came in, because we have access to do it, and going the other way is really slow and has like no metal bugs there for us to kill for Skull Gems, so it doesn't really make sense. Or the ones that we can get the Skull Gems out of, they are a lot more out of the way compared to here. You can see just 5 just sitting here in a really nice location. So nice. Put them all, grab all their gems, and boom, mission complete. Another thing that I should mention, since we save and loaded for Breezy Valley, we're not doing it for the Skull Gem collecting missions. It actually doesn't save that you collected all the Skull Gems until you've left the level. So we haven't really completed the mission, even though it says mission complete, until we actually left the level, unlike with Breezy Valley and such, where we could just save and load after completing the mission and be satisfied with that.
And since I haven't hit a checkpoint since completing the mission, if I die right now, it will take half of the Skull Gems I collected away from me, putting me back to 20. And
yeah, it's been a while since we collected a checkpoint. He's not going to be getting them going backwards.
There's one checkpoint. It's in this room right here. This is the only one that you get going back.
Yeah.
Which, at that point, you basically exited cannery, so you really
there's not
just
really
gotta...
many places to die here.
Yeah, you really just gotta do the entire level deathless.
Looks like it's gonna be fast and furious, oh so
even when you're grabbing
let's cruise.
Checkpoints, there's just so many things that get slowed down if you ever die, since we go back the same way we came. So we leave like ice blocks already melted, which you have to melt again if you are going back, and potentially if you have to back up some Skull Gems on the way back too, it can be pretty major time loss when a small death. Here we have one of the missions that's very important that you don't get mission progression wrong with. Emerald Isle 1. Emerald Forest 1, I think, and depending on your region. Because if you get to a part in the level progression where Emerald is second level here, is possible to do, then this one is just straight up skipped, which is bad for all missions where we want to do all the missions. So that's one reason why there's never going to be a route in this category that does all of Haven City in one go. Because then you can't do this mission.
Get beside the bugs, little dude!
He's gonna try and get pretty early cycle. The absolutely earliest crazy cycle that Majora's been getting.
Yeah, dude! That was Supremo!
It's pretty hard to get, but he got it before the cave, which is a pretty standard quick cycle.
Not bueno going on there.
It's rare that you can get it earlier than that.
Yeah, I tried doing some hot throws. Those get the grenades farther, but still didn't get an earlier kill. Now we're going to another mini game, and I promise we're gonna do the level guide. I promise.
And because of the way this works, you see the door open there for you? That's a bit of a lie, actually. The door is not at a point where it can open because of how we've been doing this run. So when he goes back, he's actually going to have to skip past the door rather than actually just having the door open for him, which is a bit annoying, but something you have to deal with. And here we have the reason why we delayed the brewery. So Majora's just gonna immediately hover out of bounds here with the flamethrower and get all the way to the end, just like that. And this is where the mission takes place. This one mini, that's the entire mission.
Yeah,
everything else in the level. I mean, is Daxter's job really to be a bug exterminator, or is it to complete missions? I think it's to complete missions. So that's what we're gonna do.
I mean, Osmo, he doesn't tell us that we didn't do our job for just doing this. It seems like Daxter was really hired just to do this for the brewery,
Yeah, I mean, we saw in some other levels that we got the mission by getting the skull gems from the bugs. I mean, if you really wanted to have us do that all the time, you could have done it like in Tanker 1, where we had to do both.
Exactly.
But he didn't. So we don't do both here. We just skip to the end and do the minigame.
Yeah, I think that's another difference with emulator and physical hardware is I'm pretty sure doors open faster on emulator.
Oh, they do? That's interesting.
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but it felt that way.
They take pretty long in emulators, so I would be surprised. Here, Majora is going to enter the transit system, which, if you remember from earlier in the run, I did mention that this was part of normally getting to Breezy Valley 2. We've been delaying it all the way here. Not necessarily because we needed to, just because of routing it kind of works out this way. Because you don't actually benefit from having the flamethrower here, really. There's not really much you can do with it. Even in the boss fight, it's like maybe a few of the middle bugs you can kill a bit faster with the flamethrower, but that's about it. There's not a lot of exciting things we can do here from having delayed transit system. It just works out with the routing well.
Here, I'm gonna be rotating the camera on the trains because it actually also makes them go a bit faster, which is sort of interesting.
Wait, have we tested that?
I don't know, but it really, like, when I do that, it just it really pulls. Feels like it's pulling it towards me.
Yeah, that's interesting. Should probably test that.
Yeah, definitely, because I've been doing it because it just feels faster. So I've started doing it.
I know when Noki was figuring out with the camera manip thing for just general Daxter movement, he was really going into depth with that, which is nice, just to be able to figure out exactly the right camera angle to hold and everything for speeding it up. I feel like we should probably do something with that with the trains, or at least start with some camera angles.
Ooh, that's okay. I can hover back.
That's fine. Okay.
This also gives me the checkpoint right here.
Yeah, the checkpoint's exactly there, so it works out.
Okay. Back on track.
Jumping onto climbing areas and jumping off them, as you've been seeing Majora do in other parts of the run as well, is pretty quick. So I was trying to do that with the trains a bit and ended up getting carried away.
Glad I didn't read my accent there.
Yeah, other than potentially having to time whether this camera manipulating Majora is trying to do is actually a thing, there's not really much going on in this section. It's just some neat platforming. And Majora finally learns here you can crouch. That's something that I think you weren't even aware of when we last.
Yeah, what wasn't even, I was walking into the corners because there's no collision and you don't take damage when you do it. I completely didn't even register. I can crouch under. I can just crawl under.
There is a casual way to do this. It isn't just exploit bad collision. Can the runners see the chat? Yes, I can see the chat. I look over every now and again. But the Majora is paying a bit more attention to this gameplay.
Yeah. There's not a lot of downtime in Daxter to look over at the chat.
And you are not supposed to walk through the vents. You're supposed to crawl through them, but as I talked a bit earlier in the run, Daxter ducks when he lands after a jump, which gives just enough space for Daxter to squeeze his way in there. Ends up a lot faster to walk through them than to crawl. And so here, Majora is going to face Hive Queen 1 here, so hopefully it doesn't turn out that
we're playing the full
demo
version.
copy.
No, but we're playing the full version this time.
Yes.
That's good.
He is playing the same version, so who knows? Maybe it's a demo version again. Maybe it just feels like it today to be a demo version. Because that was the case last time we showcased this category. That just randomly in this boss fight, it was like, I even have the message here. Congratulations, you have completed this preview of Daxter on a PSP TM. Look for the full version of Daxter coming spring 2006. Press any button to return to the main menu, and then you return to the main menu, not to restart the boss fight.
Great.
The weirdest thing is that Majora looked it up, and the preview was supposed to end in the brewery, but for some reason it just triggered randomly in this boss fight in the middle of it, not even after completing it.
Yeah, one would think if it was this boss fight, it would be after completing it, not in the middle.
Luckily, there's a good save point, so that didn't hurt too much, but that was pretty funny. Yeah, the biggest thing outside of just getting the hits in that Majora is trying to do is he's trying to stay in front of the boss so that it doesn't spend too much time turning around. The little turning around animation there, it can take a while, and then it's only after it that it charges up its attack. And you want it to charge up the attack as soon as possible. Because regardless of which attack it is, you have to wait for the attack until you can hit it again. And then now Majora is actually going to move over to the part of the mission progression that you would expect him to do after Emerald. Where he's going to enter the second henchman of killing all missions runs, construction site 2. Or at least of killing my all missions runs.
We'll get this guy. I practiced it.
Let's go. We believe.
That's bold last words. Bold last words. As I enter the level. I practiced it.
This is not any percent. This is all missions. Which in some levels is actually the same as any percent. In particular, one weird one, the missions is actually just to get to the end of a level, which is kind of convenient. But in a lot of places, means doing the levels differently, and also doing levels that we just don't see in any percent. Because any percent is very little mission progression. It's mostly just going around getting all of the power-ups, so the hover attachment, the bug spray, and the flamethrower attachment, and then you just go to the end game. Here, he's going to do a pretty cool thing with the trampoline. That we're actually going to want to crawl in a situation where we normally don't crawl, which is the opposite of what we usually do, because it can allow him to build up a really, really high trampoline bounce there by building up some momentum by being crawled on the trampoline and just getting it to go wild with all those bounces. He got the skip first try. It was really difficult. So, really, really cool.
My keen exterminator sense tells me that these termite mounds are the problem.
I don't think I'm getting this though.
That's a difficult vent flip. Really precise.
I try to get it from that hover that I do, but sometimes it just doesn't cooperate.
I find it easier with the hover, but still pretty hard. And even though you don't get to see that trampoline boost a lot of times, mainly because there's not a lot of levels with trampolines, you are gonna get to see it a second time here. After Majora gets up the elevator, there's another trampoline, which just so happens to very easily allow him to leave. Because you leave easily on the room immediately to the right of where he currently is. So he's just gonna jump over to the other side with that trampoline boost and get an easy vent clip and leave. Then at the end of construction site 2 is where you unlock the second set of missions in the power station. This is a really good reason to delay Strip Mine 1 to do the Greasy Valley 1 early, so you can do the power station all in one go, rather than having to go there 2 times. Since all the missions here are available in the teleporter to select, unlike with the other teleporter where the mission gets overridden, he can just select Strip Mine 1 here, even though that was a while ago in the mission progression.
The wasps.
Yeah, it can be a bit annoying. Especially with how low the roof is there, so you can't really just hover over them easily. Or the ceiling, I guess I should say. So here's a neat little small platforming bit from having the flamethrower attachment in a level where you don't normally have it. Just
yeah, there's a lot of one-sided walls in the game. And so you can just kind of pass through them.
And got some hovers off there as well, with a bit of a weird place that you can land there, that for some reason it doesn't allow you to jump, but you can still just delay things a bit there, let your eco refresh a little bit so you can do another hover immediately after and get up on the platform without having to do all that climbing. But for these gems that he's collecting throughout this level, some of them you're expected to go all the way back down. Like this one, for example, you're just expected to collect it and take a trip back down, but he's just gonna backtrack, and it ends up working out just fine. And that means we can have a bit more direct paths to these gems, which is really nice. And then this cycle ends up working out very well.
Nice.
That cycle just keeps going as you're going throughout the level, so sometimes, depending on the time through the level, it can be either that you just have to wait there a long time, or maybe you just barely make it. But the majority of it had a nice amount of time to make it there, which is very good. And now we're actually back to a part of the mission progression I was talking about after construction site 2 with the other levels in the power station. So this first one is where we get the final cutscene actually to unlock one of Daxter's power-up to this blaster. I don't know what it's actually called, but it's a mod that allows him to shoot these electric balls that he uses to blow up some of these walls and destroy some nests.
I think the manual calls the upgrade the Sonic Bomb or Sonic Grenade, something like that.
Yeah, Sonic is Supersonic sounds kind of familiar.
It's odd. It's just, it allows us to shoot grenades.
Yeah,
That's the important
it allows us
part.
to blast stuff. Incidentally, even though it's supposed to be required, there's not really much that's required with it. In fact,
yeah, we can skip all the required stuff. That's only for getting into the boss, I'm pretty sure. That it's actually required. I mean, I guess completing this mission.
Not really, actually. No TMS, we actually do it without getting the blaster. So I don't actually think there's any places left where it's required with the skips we have. But it is faster, so it's always nice to have. It turns out when the game gives you something expecting you to do it, it can be faster to just use what the game gives you. Yeah, it's just going through the level, getting all these nests. Incidentally, all the nests, they don't all actually die to the blaster. The bigger ones you need to do the flamethrower. Something when I did the run again, after a while, had forgotten and was confused about for a bit. Just blasting it over and over and going, why isn't it going down? Yeah, just one left. The last one is actually a bit further in here. It's not really out of the way, so it's fine, but he is gonna go a fair bit here, just with a single one remaining. And it seems that Majora got a little bit concerned there about not being on the flamethrower when he was about to jump off. You can actually hover with the blaster, but it does use up a lot more eco. So it's nice to make sure you switch to the flamethrower. And there he got the final nest and can finish this first half of Strip Mine 2. There's also a boss fight that you need to do afterwards here. Which the boss fight, at least for the level itself, is the only required part. We do the first part for the mission progression. And Majora is doing the skips here that luckily, because he's playing all missions, he can't just use the blaster if he fails them.
That's what's done in no TMS, why we can skip the blaster.
Holy cow, Daxter! Yep. The readings are off the chart! Watch yourself!
Just clip out of bounds using the elevators there. Incidentally, it's probably a little bit faster to do it in all missions as well, since you can hover up with the combined power of both the flamethrower and the movement that you get from the elevator, and just be able to move forwards really early. When normally you would have to wait around on the elevator before you can finally start destroying walls. And keep going. With very little time difference. And here, Majora's gonna combine the blaster with some spin attacks, because there is a little bit more time that you have to attack than the amount of eco you will have each round that you get to attack. So getting some spin attacks in as well can help with getting enough hits in to get a quick fight. And like with a lot of boss fights in Daxter, the first phase has a predetermined attack, the second phase is a predetermined attack, and then the last phase, it can be either one of them. He ended up getting it done in 3 cycles, which is very good.
Looks like you've got another date with Betsy.
recycles is a very tiny known TMS since you don't have the blaster, but it's a bit more reasonable in all missions.
So we're gonna be doing some fun stuff with the camera here.
Yes, so I haven't actually talked about it. I briefly mentioned it when I mentioned the collision as being something they optimized well for the PSP. But one thing to note about this game is that the collision is very dependent on, and also actions by enemies is dependent on where you're looking. So these 7 mini bosses, I guess. I don't know what to refer to them as, but these 7 bugs flying around, they actually won't die unless you look at them, which is interesting.
Oh, interesting.
The damage will still register even when you're not looking at them, but they will just sit there in an about to die state without actually dying unless you make sure you look at them, or at least look close to them. And yeah, so there we go. That was a situation where Majora looked close enough that the counter went up. So it's nice to keep track of the counter on the right side, especially if you don't have it on the screen, or if you're trying to get a quick hit. He almost made that cycle. That was close. Luckily, respawning here, he gets a pretty quick cycle, so it's not too much time loss. But yeah, like I know this one, because of how slow moving back is, you kill the bug and then you die afterwards to quickly get back. So I will normally set the camera up and get in position to die, and if you really want to game it, you can even start dying as you're looking at the bug before it's even fully dead. But when you're doing that, it's nice to make sure you're looking at the counter to be absolutely sure, okay, I got it, okay, I can move on. Because if you don't get it, then backtracking to go and actually kill it again can be a bit time consuming. And here we're gonna set up by taking the checkpoint there for another death abuse after this set, because again they're a little bit out of the way from where we normally move, so it's nice to just be able to get back to the part of the level that we were before pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You can do this very risky and start taking a lot of damage while on the button, and it's a little scary, but just going into first person and making sure you don't really take damage right away is a nice way to handle it. Because if you start taking damage right away, you start just having all these bugs going up against you, and you can easily get to the point where they shake you off the button, and they end up dealing a lot of damage to you, and you have like 3 bugs or something all attacking you, and it's so scary. And here we have the final one that Monstrous is going to kill here. Make sure that you absolutely look at it. If you do it quickly, then it's very easy to just try and turn away and just keep going. Especially if you're using the blaster to kill it, you just kind of have to wait there as it's dying. Just like, get on with it already, so I can move on, exit the level. And he's not going to use the slide to exit the level like he did in the hotel. I think the hotel is actually the only slide we use. Instead, he's going to backtrack here to where he killed the first bug, and he's gonna make sure to grab a checkpoint too, just in case.
Yep.
And that's a good reason to grab the checkpoint, because otherwise you lose like 40 seconds from dropping off there. Instead, he has a checkpoint right there to be able to re-attempt the jump across there. He gets
We
it
did it. I can
the
open
second
the
try.
mill again.
Very
You
nice.
can leave using the log chute.
So now we get a re-enter port.
Yep. And as I mentioned earlier, the door was a lie when it opened up earlier. He can't actually go through the door. So what Majora is going to do instead is...
But I'm switching to my flamethrower first, just in case I need the extra height.
Yeah, I normally do that. I go for a scooter, but if you...
Oh, there we go. I didn't even need the extra height. Just got it extremely good one first try.
That was such a clean one. You could have probably made that without the hover. I don't know if you would have landed on the scaffolding, so that might have been. So the hover would save time there from getting over the invisible wall. And that can be a bit annoying there. Yeah, and here we get into the second level in the same teleporter. And as you can see, unlike the power station teleporter, it doesn't give you the option to do both levels. It just sends you into the level that you're at in the whatever part of the mission progression you're in. Which is why it is important that we do route this category around this. I don't know if there would be a reason to route it in such a way ever, but especially in all missions where that's important. We make sure that we don't get too far in mission progression or doing the first level in this teleporter. That mission progression is, however, something we've used in No TMS, where we make sure we do get to that part of the mission progression early, so we don't have to do the first level. Because that one doesn't have to complete all the missions, so the less missions you complete, the better at that point.
I'm gonna... Oh, no, don't need to peek.
Daxter.
Oh, let's see if it puts me in a good spot to drive off.
Oh, never mind.
I think it's more likely to be a good spot to just drive the exit. It's not the best spot to drive the exit, but definitely better to drive the exit here.
Yeah.
If you drive off the waterfall, then you respawn at the beginning here. It can take a bit of time to drive off the waterfall, so it's not always worth it. And now at this point, we have finally gotten to the end game. So this is the part of the game that any percent would skip to very early in the run. Just going to the tanker like right away and skipping to this level that Majora is about to enter, Tanker 2. So quite a big difference in how much of the game you play between the categories. But the Tanker 2 itself also looks quite a bit different in all missions. Because the mission in Tanker 2, even though it's not collecting skull gems or doing a minigame or anything, you do need to activate the escape sequence, which you would normally just do regularly when playing casually. However, the skip we do doesn't necessitate that you activate the escape sequence, so the skip ends up looking a little bit different in all missions where we do have to activate it. So he's gonna hover on top of this pipe here, and hover back up and trying to get a standpoint in the middle of the pipe up top there. Getting a little low on hover here.
That should be enough, I think I've gotten it with that much. We'll see. We'll find out.
I feel like that's not enough for 2 hovers. Maybe?
Yeah!
Oh, barely. That is so barely. I've never seen it so barely. That looked like you were being forced back out. That did not look like you made it.
Daxter, what did you do?
There we go. That's the escape sequence that you normally don't have to activate. You can actually continue the out of bounds a bit, but it's a bit risky. It's the difficult skip to pull off, which you have no checkpoint for. So you have to do the entire out of bounds all over again if you fail it. So that can be a big reset point. I would consider this the 3rd henchman of killing my runs. Just because of how difficult the out of bounds can be here with no checkpoints whatsoever in this mission. Majority does fail it off the first platform, but luckily you can do it off the second platform here as well, so even though the first one...
No. Okay. Well...
There's enough eco to go to the other ones and still finish the level. So it is a bit unfortunate to not get the skip up the pipes to get into this little section at the end early, rather than having to take down the dark eco like you had to do there. You can just land right here and just get to the end of the level. And the Baron's Palace here is the one I mentioned earlier as the only level in the game where the mission is just complete the level. So this is identical between all missions and 90%, which is pretty rare in the speedrun, them to be exactly the same. But this is one of the few cases where that's the case. You just jump through the level.
Daxter, it's time to get your orange self the hell out of
Depending
here.
on how much out of bounds Majora wants to do, there are some interesting things you can do in this level. It is pretty straightforward. This is definitely a movement check, I would say, in Daxter. Difference of times you can get if you've got your single jumping down, making sure you maintain your hovers, don't just drop them right away, because the start of the hover is really slow, but as you continue to hover, it's pretty fast. And making sure you hold the 45-degree angle of the camera well, and all that stuff that adds up to making Daxter move just that little bit quicker. And can be a big barrier in time there. And the Majora is going to go for a corner clip here. So he's gonna try and wedge himself in the corner.
Oh,
Didn't
okay.
quite
That
get
was
it.
interesting. There we go.
And then get through the bookshelf just like that. It's not risky in the sense that you lose a lot of time if you fail it, but all you're really skipping is one laser cycle eventually, and even then, depending on what your cycles look like, when you're going inbounds, you could just get a good cycle. So
That was an odd jump I just got there.
yeah, it can be a bit interesting, depending on where you land and how you end up with that. And he's gonna try and just hover across here. He can still get a hover if he falls down there, which is nice. In order to skip all that platforming going up above, it's nice to just be able to cut the corner. and he's gonna cut another corner here by getting on top of the side a little bit and jump to this platform that's very convenient in order to get him to the part that has the cutscene trigger to open up the final part of the level. And here we're gonna get into a very hard and long level, the prison. This one, starting off here, it has some global guard cycles that if you're getting the same times, they're gonna be in the same locations. So if you run the game enough, maybe occasionally you will just know where the guards are, but that can be hard to keep track of. But other than that, it's a bit further into the prison that it really starts to have some significant skips. I was almost going to say major, which considering they only skip parts of the level each, maybe isn't appropriate to call them major. Not as big as Tank Q1, not as big as some of the other ones that skipped right at the end of the levels or things like that, but this is a very long level, so to have those 20-second time saves here or there, 10 seconds sometimes maybe, it can really add up. There are a lot of guard cycles, as you'll notice. There's also one here that Majora gets one where you just kind of have to wait. There's two variations of the guard cycle where you can just go straight to the door, depending on whether he's behind the pillar or whether he's in front of it. Did you try to do the jumping?
I did.
In there?
I did.
Yeah, that's probably the most tight part of a vent clip in the entire game, where after the vent clip there's a bit of an extra ledge that tries to keep you from being able to walk through, which if you do very precise jumps you can actually get through while walking still. And right here, we mentioned earlier about I failed up there. But maintaining the elevator momentum upwards as you're hovering. Normally you're not supposed to be able to just continually go upwards when you hover. Normally it looks like this, where you have a maximum height. However, if you jump off the elevator and hover, which you can do here as well, you just keep going up from just the elevator vertical movement, which you can actually do some really nice skips of some of the platforms going up here if you get the combination well. And unfortunately the camera did not want to follow Majora, so he's gonna have to crawl eventually, even after getting the vent clip, which is a bit annoying, but it ends up working out. Gets to walk through at least a little bit of that sequence. And not very fun when Daxter doesn't want to get the ledge grab.
Oh, come on. Well, that's a checkpoint right there, but Daxter. Yeah, I don't know why it does that, but yeah, Daxter sometimes just crawls up above the ledge.
Yeah, and it usually gets fixed when you jump off and then go back on. But because he had to do that, the bugs were ready, whereas they normally take a bit to come in, and just like that. So here, this is actually an instance where Majora gets a very good cycle where you can just run straight through. I mentioned it earlier that you can get those kinds of cycles where you just don't have to wait for the guards, which is really, really nice. Cool that we got to show off at least one of them. because sometimes, especially if you're newer to the game, it might be scary to try and cheat the cycles a bit. Because some guards can really be in difficult positions to make sure you get past them. But when you can go past the cycles very quickly there, it's really satisfying. It saves a lot of time. And there gets another event clip. Just like that. And from here, there's going to be another out of bounds section using the same corner clip method that was used early in the run to get into Breezy Valley here. So you just ledge grab close to a wall and you're able to jump out of bounds. We'll see what kind of movement Majora decides to do here. So the first one here, you can do a regular jump with holding the camera angle.
Got it.
You can do it for the other one as well. Very tight on the other one. It's actually so tight that before we knew about speeding up Daxter with the camera angle, we actually weren't able to do it, even with the extended jumps. It's just that far of a gap. So being able to clear it, really good. And he's gonna go to the edge of the spinners here to use the momentum from the spinners to try and jump across and skipping some spinners, because they take a while to move around and not all of them are positioned in a location that's close to the end, so using that momentum can allow him to clear through the room a lot quicker.
At the final mini game of the run.
Yeah. Another one of those mini games that you don't get to see in an event. Kind of like the Omen mini games in Jack 2 and 3. And just like all the other mini games, you only have one life with this, so you have to be careful to not press any of the wrong buttons. Eventually, when there's enough different variations of buttons you need to press, or just a lot of them on screen, it can be easy to maybe go, oh, I'm supposed to click this direction, and it happens to be one that's not on the screen at that time. I even had one where I looked at a button coming far down on the screen, and I just instinctively moved my thumb to the cross button, because that's far down on the controller. I had to stop myself from clicking. Would have been really bad since that was a PB pace run. Luckily, I stopped myself.
Here we go. This is the final boss.
And this is actually another another place where you're supposed to need the blaster, which makes sense for them to test all of the equipment that you've been using throughout the game. It's part of this final boss here, but he's actually just not going to need it because of a skip that he's going to be able to do later on. But at least for now, we kind of just have to wait around. It is actually possible to manipulate this first phase, get some faster hits in, but unfortunately that is very precise and just has not been tested enough. I know Rain was working on it a bit, and was able to consistently get the first hit to always be the same. But keeping it up the entire way is going to be very difficult because it's based on your position. And just a little bit, just very small differences between positions can really change where Caden likes to move. Which one of these geysers, I guess? Dark Eco geysers, if he wants to hover on top of.
And as you'll notice, I'm staying on the middle 4 platforms as they're the closest to each geyser. So it just allows me to hit him a bit faster no matter which one he goes to.
Yeah, another thing is Jor's gonna try and not use up too much eco, so he has enough for the skip later. So you can see him just jumping across and never really hovering. So that's the 4th and final hit of this phase, which means that Major can hover over here to the place where he's going to set up for the skip. So,
and time is coming up.
Yeah, very soon if he gets the skip. So he's going to get on top of Caden's back, and as Caden flies away, he's going to bounce up.
And do that.
And he's
Wow, nice.
just like that. So when he gets up to Caden, it's going to be over.
Time.
GG.
Very, very good run.
Nicely done, yeah. That's just over a 129.
I just stopped you,
Nice.
didn't I?
Awesome. Well, I mean, you two, thank you so much. Thank you, Majora, for showing off the game. Albie, thank you for the commentary. Are there any shout-outs that you folks want to give?
Outside where?
Well, to you and GDQ for having me on, really. It's always been something that I've wanted to do, be on one of these shows, so I really, really do appreciate it and appreciate the invitation and stuff.
Gnarly! Excellent work,
dude! Definitely want to shout out Albie. It's like 4 in the morning for her right now. She's doing amazing, providing this commentary for me. I can't state enough how much I appreciate her staying up as late as she is staying up.
Fairly well, my fine fan. Parting is
No
such
worries.
sweet.
It's a Friday night, so I figured why not.
Albie, whilst you're still awake, do you have any shout-outs?
That's how I
I've
say.
been mentioning a few people throughout the run, but I'd just like to shout out some of the amazing Daxter runners that's been helping out throughout the years. Whether it's Noki, who's really been pushing this game and worked on a lot of different scripts and the movement of everything. Cetro, Rain, just a bunch of people who have really dedicated a lot of time to figuring out different cool things in the game and making tutorials and everything to make this speedrun a lot cooler and a lot more accessible to everyone.
Awesome. And speaking of making the making the game accessible, if folks were interested in running this, I know we've mentioned the Discord server a few times. There's that. Albie, you've put out some pretty good resources for the game. You're welcome to talk about that.
Yeah, so I actually have both a any percent and I think I made
a no TMS tutorial. Yeah.
Did I make a full one for all missions as well?
No, I don't think so. I made a kind of scuffed all missions tutorial. Been wanting to revisit it, make a better one.
Yeah, so you can find those on the guides page on speedrun.com. You can also find a recent one I made, a movement guide. Went through some of the movement techniques we do Some of them are arguable with their movement techniques, but I include them anyway. So yeah, hopefully that can help out if you want to try out any of the categories. It's pretty common to start with 100%. It's not, the techniques there are not that much more difficult. The TMS, which might seem a bit scary, is actually pretty easy on the inputs. That's a pretty beginner-friendly category to get started. It's a nice length too, where particularly if you're starting out, it usually is under an hour still.
Yeah, I know.
Feeling really good.
My first any percent run, I think, was like 36 minutes or something. So it's pretty short, even just starting out.
Nice. Awesome. Well, once again, thank you to so much. A big thank you to the Monster racers that we had on earlier. A big thank you to Derek, Ash, and Thrasher. And folks, if you've stuck around for this episode, thank you so much for tuning in to Going Places. We'll be back in about 2 weeks' time. With what next? Who knows? Probably some more PlayStation mascot kind of action. But that is not hotfix done for tonight. No. We have got Passion Project coming up after this. We are going to be seeing, I think the theme that Amber's going for this time round is indie games. So we're going to be seeing Lena's Inception followed by Cassette Beasts, which should be good fun. Whilst I've got your attention, and before we move on to getting everything set up, just a quick reminder that your subs, your Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Done Quick Hotfix. So if you've enjoyed what you've seen today, or you're looking forward to seeing what else we've got on offer, please consider subscribing to the channel. It gives you an ad-free experience, and you get to enjoy speedruns uninterrupted. We are, of course, going to be segueing onto Passion Project after this, so do stick around for the rest of what we have to offer, and do stick around for Hotfix. We have got Hotfix going on most of the time.